Beautiful New England early evening and a great matchup. The venue is classic. Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. And the matchup, the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox. They've been doing this for about 100 years in some way, shape, or form. The curse of the Bambino. They haven't won a World Series since 1918. The Yankees have won 26, and every single time they play, all of those things come back to haunt everybody here in Boston. And tonight, CBS 2 presents New York Yankees baseball. The New York Yankees take on the Boston Red Sox in the first of three at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Let's take a look at what this is going to mean. In the American League East, the Yankees are 2.5 games ahead of the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays 11 games off the pace. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball. Along with Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay. If you're a baseball fan, you love this matchup because this is literally a battle for first place. For the last 5 years, the Yankees have finished first, and the Red Sox have finished second. The Red Sox are trying to change that, and tonight in the first game of this series, they send out the best. Pedro Martinez against David Wells.
Michael, it's always exciting coming to Fenway Park, but then Yankees and Red Sox fighting for first place does not get any better. The Yankees have to face, I think, the best pitcher in all of baseball. Despite that record against the Yankees, he's had a lot of no decisions. He's pitched very well. Boomer's marked 13-20, but as a Yankee, he's 4-2 here at Fenway Park. He's done much better.
Well, let's take a look at the keys to the game. They're brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win.
Well, for the Yankees, keep it close. We mentioned Pedro's record is 7-2, 8 no decisions, and 3-5 in those games. So if they can get into the Boston bullpen, Boston, their left-hand hitters use the wall. They got 4 of them in the game tonight. And it's the same old story for both teams. Whose bullpen is going to do the job? Boston's, since the last time the Yankees saw them, is much stronger.
Well, now you know the keys to the game. You know the matchup as well. The Boomer will go for the Yankees, and for the Boston Red Sox, their best, Pedro Martinez. Yankees against the Red Sox, Wells against Martinez. Stick around for the first pitch right here on CBS 2. Red Sox have taken the field at Fenway. Pedro Martinez is taking his warm-ups, and he's going to face this New York Yankees starting lineup brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Get the feeling. Toyota. That man will lead off. Alfonso Soriano, the second baseman, batting second and playing shortstop. Derek Jeter, 14 for 59, 237 average and 1 home run against Pedro Martinez. Jason Giambi, the DH, will hit third, batting fourth and playing center field. Bernie Williams, Hideki Matsui in left. Jorge Posada will catch. Nick Johnson's back from the DL stint. He'll be at first base, batting seventh, batting eighth, and playing right field. Raul Mondesi and Enrique Wilson, who doubled twice last time against Pedro Martinez, gets to start at third base.
Pedro's 18th start. He's only 7-2. I say only. No decisions. Boston is 3-5 in those. Look at that earned run average, 221, but for one start, it would be much better. Add up the walks and hits, and it is some very effective pitching. We'll check out the scouting report on him in just a moment.
Soriano digs in. We are ready for baseball. A battle for first place here at Fenway Park in Boston. Last time Soriano led off against Pedro Martinez, he got plunked. Well, he really struck out, but he did get hit. And then Derek Jeter also got hit. They both ended up in the hospital that day. A breaking ball strike.
Here's the scouting report on Pedro. He is a scout's dream. If you're here scouting the Yankee hitters, just watch the way Pedro pitches. A lot of advanced scouts try to go by that. Every pitcher doesn't have his stuff.
About straight back here and out of Fenway Park, and the count is now, I guess, 0-2. It says 1-1 on the board, but it's 0-2, I believe.
And I mentioned go away April 12th. You wouldn't expect it, but Pedro in 4 1/3 innings gave up 9 hits, 10 runs, walked 4. If you take that start out, his earned run average would be 145. He could very easily be 12 or 13-2.
And that's after missing a month with an injury, a pulled lat muscle on his side. In the month of July, a 0.64 ERA. That one is punched down the right field line by Soriano. Fair ball, it's trouble, but it's into the seats, foul.
And the last point in Pedro's scouting report, P and C. That is a combination of power and control. He has only allowed 112 base runners, and yet he struck out 120. There isn't any other pitcher that strikes out more men than they allow base runners.
And the 0-2. Last year, Soriano's mom was at the stadium, ran into Pedro Martinez, and Martinez said, "I really like your son. He's a great ball player." And then after he hit Soriano last time, he said, "I would never hit Alfonso. He's like a little brother to me."
And you never like to let your little brother get a hit off you, do you?
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Soriano down on strikes.
See, and there's the pitching intelligence of Pedro Martinez. I think everyone was prepared for him to throw a couple fastballs inside, but instead Soriano saw a lot of breaking pitches outside and then that outstanding changeup. Knee-high outside corner, perfect pitch. There you see the grip, and he'll move that index finger and thumb over on the side of the ball. They call that the circle change or the OK change. It's like you make a OK sign with your thumb and index finger.
Here's Derek Jeter, and the pitch is a strike. Home plate umpire tonight is Dana DeMuth. Marvin Hudson's at first, Kevin Kelly at second, and Jerry Lane is over at third. First of three, Yankees come into this series 2.5 games ahead of the Red Sox in the American League East. The 0-1, low. Tonight's ball game on CBS 2 can be heard in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Jeep, only in a Jeep. The 1-1, foul back. The big buzz in Boston, if you read the Globe and the Herald today, is about possible retribution for the batters that were hit in New York. Roger Clemens hit Kevin Millar. Derek Jeter was hit that same day. That was a Saturday. And then the Monday game, Pedro Martinez hit Soriano and Jeter leading up the first, sent both of them to the hospital. The 1-2, driven out to right field. Trot Nixon there, 2 away.
And you see what Pedro's done now. Now, bear in mind, based on what you said, everybody's anticipating, including those two guys, that he's going to be pitching inside. He hasn't, but check out the third time through the batting order if they match up again. See, then he's going to throw that, and he didn't throw those pitches in there to hit those guys. If you're a right-hand pitcher and those guys and hitters are on the plate, you'd want to pitch hitters the same way.
Here's Jason Giambi. And there's a strike. Giambi was hit yesterday in the bottom of the first inning by Sidney Ponson of the Orioles after Roger Clemens had hit Melvin Mora, and Giambi said, "I was expecting it. It's baseball. I took first base. It's all part of the business. No big deal."
Right, and nothing happened after that.
Now the big problem with the Yankee game when Soriano and Jeter got hit is Mike Mussina went on to pitch brilliantly, but did not address any redemption for the Yankees, and that's where people say the Yankees still owe the Red Sox something. Although the Yankees have not been talking that up, the Red Sox have been. Well, we're ready for anything. If they want to go like that, we'll go like that. And that's all over the Boston papers today. I think the magnitude of the games, Jim, I don't think it happens.
No, I don't either. It's more of an issue that fans and media are talking about than players.
Breaking ball strike, 2-2.
Got 4 weapons: fastball, curveball, slider, and that outstanding change. That's what he struck out Soriano on, and might give it to Giambi right here, low and away. You'd think he would.
And the 2-2 outside. Full count delivery. Check swing by Giambi. Good eye, takes a pitch just off the plate on the outside corner and works a walk.
Well, that's a little pitch out of respect by Pedro. Tried to make a perfect pitch, knee-high outside corner on 3-2, saying, "I'll go ahead and pass Giambi." I think in a game like this where you have a matchup of 2 outstanding pitchers, they're very concerned about giving up the first run. They're going to pitch these first few innings like it's the last few innings.
Giambi held by Kevin Millar. He will not take a big lead. He's not going anywhere. Bernie Williams digs in from the left side. Bernie is 3 for his last 25, and really all but one game he's looked somewhat lost at the plate. And that one game was the first game against the Orioles where he had 2 hits and 4 at-bats, and the other times he flew out deep to the track. But in yesterday's game, not much. Doesn't seem like he has his timing back. There's a strike. Pedro, the heart and soul of this Red Sox team. And they look to him in all the games that he pitches as if that's guaranteed win night. And when he doesn't win, it demoralizes the team. Chopped slowly toward first, a foul ball.
Well, the team record in his 17 starts is 10-7. If it were a 7-inning game, Pedro Martinez would probably be the greatest pitcher in the history of baseball. I mean, he has so many no decisions, but for 7 innings, it's just unfortunate with his history of injuries that they have to take him out after that.
One-two. Broken bat. Flare into left center field. Coming on Ramirez. He cannot get there. And then he butchers the ball into short center field. Giambi moves to third and Bernie Williams stays at first. Manny Ramirez looked like he was running in quicksand on that one. So a single by Bernie Williams. The Yankees have runners on the corners, 2 outs.
Well, this team is built around offense and not defense. There's that either two-seam fastball. Yeah, that's what it looked like. You could see the rotation on it. And Manny with a late jump. Nobody else could get near it. Johnny Damon there to back him up. And any other runner but Giambi, the Yankees probably have a run. Since Robin Ventura is not in the lineup tonight.
Here's Matsui, who has excelled this year in these situations. Runners on first and third and 2 outs. Starts him off with a fastball right down the middle, 0-1. .348 with runners in scoring position since June 5th, 23 for 46. Another strike right down the middle, 0-2.
Good movement. Looked like it was going to be inside to Matsui. Moved back across the plate.
And the 0-2 pitch way outside. Even if you don't score, as strange as this sounds, if you can make Pedro throw some pitches early, those are pitches that he's taking out of the bank for the later innings. So maybe you can get him out of there after 7 rather than 8. Because they watch his pitch count. He's had shoulder problems in the past. Obviously slight build. They don't push him that far. The 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Oh, a diving play by Garciaparra. And he gets the force at second. What a play by Garciaparra, saving a base hit and a run for the Yankees. And Pedro shows his appreciation. That is an outstanding diving play to the glove side. Garciaparra uses every inch that he has and then flips to Todd Walker. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. The Yankees do not score in the top of the first, and the Boston Red Sox are coming to bat. Yankees Red Sox right here on CBS 2. While the Yankees have taken the field, David Wells will warm up, and as he warms up, we'll show you the Red Sox starting lineup brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Get the feeling, Toyota. The center fielder is Johnny Damon. He'll lead off. Batting second and playing second is Todd Walker. The shortstop, Nomar Garciaparra, will bat third. The cleanup hitter is the left fielder, Manny Ramirez. Kevin Millar at first base hits 5th, batting 6th and DHing David Ortiz. Bill Miller, the third baseman, hits 7th, batting 8th and playing right field, Trot Nixon. Jason Varitek will catch. He'll hit 9th, 13 for 38 with 4 home runs. That's a .342 average against David Wells.
And the Boomer making start number 19, 12-3. The team is 14-4 in those starts. Not a power pitcher, just 69 strikeouts. Let's check out the scouting report, though. He is Mr. Economical. Fewest pitches per inning in the major leagues this year. And the highest percentage of strikes, 71%. He's the king of the road. He's 7-0. The team is 9-0. He has not lost a road start, nor have the Yankees, and he has 4 pitches now. Fastball, curve, cutter, change.
Johnny Damon takes a first pitch strike. Looks like Dana DeMuth has a somewhat generous strike zone. He had it for Pedro, and on that pitch right there, nothing obscene, but he is giving the pitch off the plate and calling it a strike. The 0-1. That one a little bit too far outside, 1-1.
This should be a home plate umpire's dream to have 2 pitchers like this that are always around the plate. Should make his job easier also.
Tries a drag bunt, but bunts it foul into the seats.
Much made of David Wells' lack of success here at Fenway Park, and of course the Red Sox hammered him at Yankee Stadium the last time they faced him. But as a Yankee, he's 4-2 here at Fenway. So a lot of those records have to do with what kind of team you're playing for.
One-two, breaking ball, check swing. And in his second tour of duty with the Yankees here at Fenway Park, David Wells 2-0 with a 2.45, so he has become a better pitcher than in his younger days. Count 3-2.
You see that pitch was inside, and I mentioned in one of the keys lefties use the wall. That's why Grady Little has 4 left-handers in the lineup. It's tough to get that strike on the inside corner, and then you leave one over the plate. That's why they have so many left-hand batting champions here.
Check swing fouled off.
In fact, talking to Papa Jack, Ron Jackson, their hitting coach, before the game, and that's what he, that's what he encourages him to do, to really use that wall in left field. That's why it's there. Red Sox leading the American League in hitting. They're hitting .295 as a team.
3-2. Fights it off and fouls it back. Red Sox .295, as Kitty said. Damon breaks his bat. He's going to get another piece of lumber. The Blue Jays at .286. Orioles .278. Twins .275. Seattle at .274. The American League average is .268. But this team, the Red Sox team, built on scoring runs. The pitching's not outstanding, and neither is the defense, and they don't have much speed, more than they used to. There's a line drive to left center field, a base hit. Cut off in the gap by Bernie Williams. He flips the ball in, so Johnny Damon starts off the bottom of the first with a single. Now there. You see the difference between the Yankees and the Red Sox offensively this year. 5.4 runs for the Yankees, 6.2 for the Red Sox. The home runs are even. The walks much more for the Yankees. On-base percentage a little bit less by the Yankees. And the Red Sox have a .295 slugging percentage.
Yeah, those numbers, when it looks average runs per game, that looks good. But the telling number inside of all those is when you score those runs, how many games do you win? And the Yankees have the best winning percentage in baseball when they score at least 4 runs. They win close to 88% of the time. And that's because of their pitching. You score 14 runs one day and 2 the next, you're averaging 8 runs a game. But to get that consistent, and Boston has scored 5 runs or more than any other team. And it'd be interesting this last almost third of the season now to see how they do. Their bullpen is much improved with Kim, the closer, Todd Jones, the addition of Sauerbeck.
There's the strike. Yeah, those numbers could be skewed. You could have a couple of games where you scored 15 runs and then a lot of games where you got shut out. It's all an average, but it's what you do with those runs and how consistent you score them. Grounded foul. Last time Wells pitched against the Red Sox hit 5 home runs against them, and that was at Yankee Stadium during the July 4th weekend. In the first 2 games of that series, Yankees got roughed up. Wells and then Roger Clemens, but In the final 2 games, Andy Pettitte was brilliant, Mike Mussina was brilliant, and that was it. They split the 4 games, and the Red Sox left New York 4 games back. But they picked up a game and a half over the last 18 days, and now it's 2.5. Pitch out, nothing doing.
Just increases the chances of Johnny Damon going right now. As good a control as Boomer's got, you seldom see teams pitch out back to back.
One-two. Ground it sharply to Nick Johnson. Steps on the bag for 1. Goes to second. That's a double play. That's probably a double play they don't turn with Jason Giambi there. So the return of Nick Johnson pays immediate dividends with a double play, 3-6.
Wow, is that what Nick Johnson loves to have? Have a ball hit at you right off the bat, back off the disabled list, and you're exactly right. Jason Giambi's done a great job of scooping balls out of the dirt, but there's no way he makes this double play. Jason probably, if he does get it, just takes the sure out at first. So that's already a big boost for the Yankees, having Nick Johnson back there at first base.
Here's Nomar Garciaparra, robbed a run at shortstop with a great diving play on Matsui's ground ball. Count 1-0. Line drive down the left field line. Fair ball, it's trouble. That is into the seats, foul.
Yankees know all about Nomar swinging early in the count. That was a changeup he got out just a touch in front of.
Missed inside. We're in the bottom of the first inning here at Fenway. Yankees did not score in the top of the first. 2 outs, nobody on for the Red Sox here in the bottom. And the 2-1. Missed outside, 3-1. You don't want to pitch around Garciaparra because the guy on deck is pretty dangerous, Manny Ramirez.
David Wells, you usually tell a lot by his body language, and he does not look as comfortable here in the first inning as he did at Yankee Stadium. Much slower and deliberate. Not happy with that line, and he's not happy with that one. I don't know if I think he's unhappy with Dana DeMuth. You mentioned him being a pitcher's umpire, but he looked that way on the 2-1, and right after that one he walked to the back of the mound. Only his 7th walk of the year. And I don't know if he's mad at himself or thought that those last 2 pitches were strikes.
Captain comes over and has a talk with him, trying to calm him down. Jeter immediately went to the mound when he read Wells' body language and can see that Wells was stalking around after that call. Ramirez digs in. And there's a strike. Wells doesn't seem like he wants to throw the ball.
He does. You know, yesterday you saw Ponson and even Roger, though he got knocked around. You saw him go out there, and especially Ponson, looking in like he was on a mission. Couldn't wait to get the ball back. Boomer's much more tentative and not as animated as he is in Yankee Stadium.
And with Wells, you're always wondering, is he having trouble getting loose? He's had a history of back problems. Saw him in the clubhouse before the game. He seemed in a fairly good mood. He had the earpieces in, listening to Metallica, which is his pregame ritual. Didn't seem uncomfortable at all, but right now he seems a little out of sorts on the mound. The 0-1. 1-1. Manny Ramirez, 4th in the American League in hitting. Ichiro's first at 340. Melvin Mora and Bill Miller of the Red Sox tied at 333. Then Ramirez and Trot Nixon follow. So 3 of the top 5 Red Sox. A 1-1. That one's hit deep to center field. Going back, Bernie Williams still back. He's on the track. He's in the triangle. Reaches up. He can't make the play. Raul Mondesi fields the carom, fires it in, but scoring is Garcia Parra. It's an RBI double from Manny Ramirez. The Red Sox are on the board. They lead 1-0.
Well, Manny uses all of the ballpark. He's kind of in a trot for a minute there. Now he's going to turn it, but he's looking at the baseball, and he just ends up on second base. And Bernie Williams came very close. You see him tracking it, and I think it's a ball that I'd say at least half of the time Bernie's going to catch that ball. It actually hit below his glove.
I really thought Ramirez missed first base.
Yeah, he's so busy looking at the baseball that it appeared that he might.
Here's Kevin Millar. There's a one-hopper to Soriano. Backs up onto the outfield grass. He fires to first, and that will do it for the Red Sox in the first inning. But Well gives up a run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We played 1 at Fenway. Red Sox 1 and the Yankees nothing.
Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. Nobody from the Yankees around there to see this. First, we'll look at Bernie Williams. Came very close to catching that ball. In fact, it hit below his glove. But now check out this. Now, if you're a young player at home, don't watch the ball. Manny Ramirez misses first base. But of course, Nick Johnson, nobody there for the Yankees that could see that other than us on the replay. But so busy watching the ball instead of touching the base and then picking the ball up when you're closer to second.
Long fly ball to right center field by Posada. Moving back is Nixon. He leaps and it's gone. A home run for Jorge Posada into the Red Sox bullpen, and the game is tied at 1. Posada has struck out 26 times against Pedro, so that is sweet revenge for him.
Wow. Is that a shocker? As Michael mentioned, 26 strikeouts up till then. Jorge against Pedro Martinez, a 128 hitter. I think it's one of those cases where Pedro said, get ahead with a fastball. Jorge's ready for it.
Here's Nick Johnson. His first at bat in almost 2 months, and there's a strike. In separate rehab assignments at AAA and AA, a combined 10 for 22. Posada's 19th home run of the year.
To show you how much Nick Johnson's presence means in the Yankee lineup. You mentioned he hasn't played in almost 2 months. He's still drawn more walks than Derek Jeter or Alfonso Soriano, and only 1 fewer than Matsui, having missed all that time. 33 walks in a limited number of games. Another look at the home run. This looks like Pedro said, here, let me get ahead, and moved right back across the middle, and Posada was ready for it.
Line drive to left field. He picks up where he left off. A single for Nick Johnson.
Bobby Kilty made a great play for the Blue Jays the other night like this and was able to catch the ball and hang on to the wall. But you see both Damon and then Nixon with a fine effort runs out of room and does a little somersault. No damage done. E for effort.
Here's Raul Mondesi. Pitch is low.
Yeah, and early in the ball game, this is an important at bat for Mondesi, at least to get Johnson to second base. Enrique Wilson's in the lineup tonight, and you would not think it would be Enrique Wilson, but he has the best numbers of any Yankee hitter against Pedro.
Soft ground ball right side. Backhanded there by Millar. Flips to Pedro covering. One away as Nick Johnson moves to second.
So it's the productive out the Yankees are looking for. They get Johnson into scoring position.
14, Enrique Wilson.
Millar would have been a very difficult play to flip to second base. Takes the out at first. And a nice job by Pedro on the receiving end. Saw Ruben Sierra in your picture there. Now with Nick Johnson back, Ruben's playing time will be cut down.
It'll be interesting to see how Joe Torre keeps that bench happy. Sierra, Kareem Garcia. Enrique's going to turn 30 tomorrow, so he might as well do well in his final year in the 20s. Final day of the 20s. Never see those again.
Wow.
Pitching around.
I wonder if Pedro Martinez has ever pitched around a number 9 hitter. This might be the first one, because the Enrique 5 for 14 against him. Limited number of at bats, but he had 2 hits. 2 doubles against Pedro. That was that game where Jeter had to come out of the game. 3-0. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
First base is open, but you've got Soriano up next.
Yeah, that's some respect. Not taking any chances with Enrique Wilson. He'd rather go at Soriano with Jeter.
Way inside.
Wow, 4-pitch walk. Pitching around a number 9 hitter. That's a guy that has confidence in his ability. Almost reminds me of the great Tom Seaver. As we look at Enrique's last 2 at bats against Pedro, that's a double off the wall at the stadium. And there's another one down the line. And Pedro remembered those, so he walked him to get to Soriano. Tom Seaver had trouble with a backup first baseman for the Phillies, teammate of mine who's now a broadcaster, Tommy Hutton. And Tommy Hutton's lifetime average against Tom Terrific was over 600.
Here's Soriano. High fly ball. Right center field. Johnny Damon is there. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Nick Johnson, but he just draws the throw. 2 away.
That is unbelievable when I look back at that Wilson at bat. But that's how savvy Pedro Martinez is. I mean, and how confident he is. There isn't any other pitcher in baseball would walk Enrique Wilson to get to Alfonso Soriano. And there's no question it was an intentional walk without being an official one, because he threw 3 outside and then fired one in there just in case Enrique wanted to take one in the knee.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek was hit, as we told you, his first time up 18 days ago, and said to this day he still has a swollen right hand and he has to pack it in ice after each game. No breaks in there, but certainly a very lasting, painful injury from that Pedro Martinez pitch. Grounded foul.
Interesting guy. It reminds me of Greg Maddux. He's so good at that. I've seen Maddux pitch against the Giants 1 week, throw Barry Bonds a lot of fastballs, face him 10 days later, nothing but changeups. And that's like Jeter and Soriano now. They saw a lot of fastballs at the stadium. Now Jeter gets started off with a changeup.
And with the unbalanced schedule where the Yankees and the Red Sox meet 19 times, you can't empty your bucket in one game. You've got to change things around because hitters remember.
Yeah, there's 2 ways of looking at it. Like in Jeff Weaver's case, he'd have been better off if he went at Toronto the same way. Fastball's his best pitch, but Pedro's got a lot of options and great control.
Count 1-2. Game is tied at 1. An RBI double by Manny Ramirez in the first. A solo home run by Posada here in the second.
Well, you can just see the rotation on that ball. He gets so much spin on the ball, has it out near the very tips of his fingers.
And the 1-2. Just missed as Jeter looked it right into the glove of Varitek. This time, Martinez turns his back on home plate, and Varitek runs the ball out to him.
Well, that's why when you mentioned, Michael, now Varitek is set up outside. See, he's set up outside. That's what gets the crowd into the game. You set up outside the strike zone, and that pitch clearly was outside. And you said Dana DeMuth, looked like he was going to give the pitchers the strikes. I don't really see as a catcher why you would set up outside the strike zone for Pedro Martinez with his control. Why make a pitch like that and have it be a ball? Because he hit the target.
First and second, 2 outs. And the 2-2. Missed inside. Pedro, such a competitor, wants every call. And you can see him staring into DeMuth.
Every pitcher does,
I guess.
Just like the hitters want every call. And these two guys are so close, they're so around the plate that when they miss, they don't miss by much.
And the 3-2 stays alive off the end of the bat as the runners were going. This is the first of 3 between these two teams. Tomorrow, Mike Messina against John Burkett. Sunday night, Jeff Weaver against Derek Lowe. Little cat and mouse game going on between Jeter and Martinez. A long look in for Pedro. Runners will go. They do. The 3-2 off the foot of Jeter rolls into the Yankee dugout. They'll do it again. Jeter is the Yankees' best hitter with runners in scoring position, a .364 mark. That's why he has 29 ribbies despite missing almost 2 months. The 3-2 walked him. The bases are loaded. A couple of weeks ago, Pedro was talking about there are very few hitters that he fears. He really doesn't fear anyone, but some of the hitters that concern him, there's 3 or 4, and one of them he mentioned was Jason Giambi. In a big situation, he said, this is a guy I don't like to see up there.
Well, and that's why he walked him the first time. Unusual for Pedro already. What, 3 walks in an inning and 2/3? Kind of gives you an idea of the magnitude of the game and the respect he has for some of the Yankee hitters.
Missed outside. Pedro is already over his ERA in July, and his 4 starts so far in July is 0.64 ERA. He works from the full windup. This is his 45th pitch of the night. Missed inside, 2-0.
Which already, when we said keys to the game for the Yankees, keep it close. Working this much in the first 2 innings almost guarantees he's not going to be out there for much more than 6 unless he really has some 6-7 pitch innings.
Oh, he couldn't hold up on ball 3. A pitch diving down and in. The count 2-1.
High and tight, low and away, and get your breaking ball over when you're behind in the count. He was behind in the count, threw him an off-speed pitch. Giambi in a position where he wanted to swing aggressively and couldn't hold up.
Two one. Blew it by him. 2-2. Great matchup. Bases loaded at Fenway Park. One of the best pitchers on the mound, if not the best pitcher. And one of the great run producers in the game at the plate. The crowd at Fenway, shoehorned into this ancient ballpark, all begin to rise. And the 2-2. Now even more drama. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. All 3 runners will go. Same situation with CC Sabathia. He's going to go from the full windup, so Derek Jeter's going to get a huge jump at first. And this is how Jason Giambi picked up a 3-run single about a week ago. And the 3-2. He struck him out. A pitch diving down and away. He got him on a changeup. And Giambi way out in front. So Martinez works out of big trouble. A great pitch to Giambi. Yankees get 1 on 2 hits. They leave 3. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-1. An inning and a half in the books. That's it. We've had plenty of excitement. It's a 1-1 game. Yankees had a chance to really take a significant lead, but Jason Giambi struck out by a changeup out of the hand of Pedro Martinez. We go to the bottom of the second, and the pitch to David Ortiz is up and away.
Here's where the pace of a game can be so important. You talked about Pedro Martinez and it being a little bit fragile, and they take him out of games. If Boomer were to have a 7 or an 8 pitch inning, that would really put a lot of pressure on him getting right back out there after a long inning. What he'd like more than anything right now is a good rest.
1-1. Fouled away. And the count 1-2.
It's like when a pitcher warms up before a game. That's why they warm up about 20 minutes before a game and then give themselves a 4 or 5 minute breather before they go out to start the game. If you had to go right from the bullpen to the mound and have a long inning, wear you down in a hurry.
1-2. Hit sharply to second. Soriano gobbles it up. 1 away.
Well, let's look at the matchup Michael was talking about. Pedro got out of a big jam in the top of the second to Giambi. That pitch drops low and away. That one's up and in. Got the breaking ball over. Now it goes to 3-2, and I thought this was a changeup too, but I really think it was just a 2-seam moving fastball.
Bill Miller fouls it back. He actually changes off his fastball. He's that savvy.
He's got so many. Well, that's why I said he's a scout's dream, because the advanced scouts I've talked to him said when he pitches, it makes it so easy for them because he can really exploit a hitter's weakness.
Bill Miller with 34 doubles, 1 behind the leader, Garrett Anderson. He's been quite a good pickup for the Red Sox. And one of the reasons they were able to move Shea Hillenbrand. That pitch up and in. There's a strike. David catches a little bit of a break tonight because it's actually a cool evening here in New England. It was somewhat of a hot, humid day, but it kind of blew through, and it's very pleasant. If anything, you have to wear a windbreaker in the seats today, so he's not going to get overly tired because of the weather. Line drive, base hit to left field for Bill Miller. Matsui fields, fires into Jeter, so a 1-out single for the Red Sox third baseman.
Well, you're right. When they traded Shea Hillenbrand, they knew they had a solid third baseman before they did it. Bill Miller among the league leaders in doubles and also in batting average. Has been some pickup. One of those hitters, Boomer's having trouble getting out.
Here's Trot Nixon. He's having the year this year the Red Sox have been waiting a long time for. And there's a hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Nixon. Miller makes a turn at second. He'll stop right there as Bernie comes up throwing to Jeter. So successive one-out singles here in the second, first and second for Jason Varitek.
Well, billed as a pitcher's duel, but the hitters have put themselves in position early in this game to do some damage. There again, 4 lefties in the lineup. You get that pitch out over the plate where lefties want it. Miller opted not to go to third. I don't think he's seen that much of Bernie. Bernie had to move to the glove side and doesn't have a strong throwing arm. I think he could have made third base easily on that.
So the Red Sox had 3 base runners in the first, now 2 base runners here in the second, and Jason Varitek. There's a strike. Varitek was acquired from the Mariners in one of the more lopsided deals in baseball history. Lou Piniella, desperately needing some bullpen help, clamored for a pitcher, so he got Heathcliff Slocum from the Red Sox, and they sent Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek to Boston. A little lopsided. The 0-1. Foul back. Varitek's always been a good catch and throw receiver, but this year, 297, 17 homers and 61 runs batted in. Former Red Sox GM Dan Duquette was quoted as saying, "We knew he could catch, but now this gives you an added bonus also at the number 9 spot." He makes the Red Sox lineup very circular. The 0-2 in the dirt. You see where Dan Duquette, who really was a somewhat reluctant talker when he was a GM of the Red Sox, is now in a production of Damn Yankees.
He's been saving it up,
I guess. Singing, dancing. He plays the manager of the Washington Senators, and when they asked him to play the role, which was for a community theater to help save an old-time theater, he said, "Do I get to say the phrase Damn Yankees?" He said, "Yeah, you do about 9 times." He said, I'll take it." He struck him out. Pitch diving down and in, 2 away.
Said in the scouting report, Boomer now has 4. You used to think of him as a fastball curveball pitcher. He's added a change, and he's added this cutter. And that's what he struck Varitek out on, a good cutter, much like Andy Pettitte does to right-hand hitters.
Now back to the top of the lineup, and Johnny Damon, who singled to left center. That was in the first. First and second, 2 outs, 1-1 game. And the pitch to Damon is a strike. Even the Red Sox don't score as Posada goes out and talks with Wells. They have provided what Kitty said they needed to provide, a little bit of a breather for Martinez on the bench. It's about the 3rd conference those two have had.
I think, and a lot of it is in this ballpark is about in or out. You got a strike on Johnny Damon, couple men on. It's so tough to get an inside strike. It seems to be a tougher call to get.
They try outside. It's 1-1.
Mentioned they've had so many left-hand batting champions here, and that's why. When you look at even Fred Lynn and Mo Vaughn in recent years, great players, they never did as well after they left Fenway Park.
Count 1-2. One 4-0 for the Red Sox, 1-3-0 for the Yankees. A look at Fenway, opened up in 1912, and all 3 games in this series sold out. 1-2. Missed inside. Yankees Red Sox, a scalper's paradise. Pedro readying himself for the next inning. 2-2 to Damon. Still 2-2.
Mentioned a scalper's paradise. Former teammate of mine, Steve Swisher, who has a son who's an excellent player, I think a #1 draft pick, was in town. He had no idea that it was so difficult to get a ticket for Red Sox Yankees. He's trying to get in with his lifetime Major League pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
2-2. Slapped into left field, coming on Matsui. He cannot get there. Scoring is Bill Miller. The throw comes into Wilson, an RBI single for Johnny Damon. And the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead.
Well, let's see where this pitch was. See, out over the plate. Missed with a couple of pitches inside. And then lefties know they can just wait and slap that ball to left field. Johnny Damon's done it twice. Knocks in a run, gives the Red Sox a lead.
Joe's not going to use that bat to hit. But sometimes I'm sure he would like to. Pitch to Todd Walker is a breaking ball with no bite.
Yeah, I think when you saw that shot of Joe Torre, I think he and Mel both know they've seen enough of David Wells. He has not looked comfortable from the start. And this was one inning where they really needed him to have a quick inning and get Pedro back out there. When you see his curveball go like that, I mean, he might find it in the next inning or two. He certainly doesn't have it now.
That one's driven to right field. Mondesi is there. And he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. But the Red Sox retake the lead. 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 men left. We go to the third, 2-1 Boston. Tonight, Dave's all new with funny man Dennis Leary and music from Queens of the Stone Age. Tonight on The Late Show, nominated for 4 Emmys right after CBS 2 News at 11. Pedro Martinez has been given a 2-1 lead as we go to the third. And the pitch to Bernie Williams is a strike. And Bernie not in love with that call. So Martinez wiggled out of trouble in the second inning. Bases loaded, 2-out jam. He struck out Giambi. High pop-up right side. Kevin Millar near the seats, and he'll make the play, 1 away.
Well, that's about as frustrating in that bat as you can have in Fenway Park to foul out. There's just not a lot of foul territory here. The opposite of Oakland.
Here's Hideki Matsui, robbed of an RBI single on a diving stop by Garciaparra in the first inning. Ground ball. Garciaparra used all of his height, dove to the glove side, and made the play. Got to force it second. There's a strike.
And you mentioned when he started Bernie off like that, that Bernie maybe looked at the umpire. He has so much movement that when the hitter sees it out in front of him, it looks like it's 6 inches off the plate, but it moves back over the plate. And the same is true on pitches like that. Matsui has such good plate discipline, but to a lot of hitters, that pitch on the outside corner, they go after it because it looks like a strike and it moves several inches off the plate.
Good pitch on the inside part of the plate, 2-1. Just missed inside. And the count full. Martinez has had more full counts today than you see normally from him a whole game. A little bit low.
I don't think it was low. Might have been inside.
Another ground ball up the middle. A nice stab by Garciaparra. In the dirt, scooped up by Millar. Two-way. Matsui's going to see no more in his dreams.
Yeah, when he gets back to the dugout, they're going to say, try another guy. Don't hit it at him. Mentioned the Red Sox are not built around defense, but Garciaparra is a good defensive shortstop, and he's made a couple of outstanding plays here in the first 3 innings of this game. Taking 2 hits away from Matsui.
Here's Posada. First pitch that he saw in the second inning. He put it into the Red Sox bullpen. His 19th home run of the year. There's a strike. Yankees are 6-4 against the Red Sox this year. And they're 2-1 at Fenway. (0-2).
No more get-ahead fastballs for Jorge. He had the one for the night and cashed it in.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Varitek tags Posada, and that will do it in the third, and that is the strongest inning that Pedro has had so far. Yankees go down 1-2-3. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, it's CBS 2 Red Sox, and the Yankees won. New York Yankees baseball on CBS 2 is brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford store with the best-selling vehicles in America. By Continental Airlines. Continental, work hard, fly right. And by Jeep, only in a Jeep. We go to the bottom of the third inning here at Fenway Park in Boston. A jewel of a ballpark, opened up in 1912. And these two teams have been going at it since then. Pretty much the same uniforms, different players, but the fans feel the same way about the teams on the field. David Wells will deal to Garciaparra, and the pitch is inside. Ground ball to Enrique Wilson. One away.
And every time we come back here, Michael, there's a little change. And today's the first time I ever came in through that new entrance, because the old entrance where the bus and the TV truck, that's all picnic area now.
Right.
And of course the seats up on top of the monster, so they're just trying to maximize everything they can here at this, as you said, jewel of a ballpark. You'd hate to see this one go. There's the monster seats. They're going to double in price next year, and they'll still sell out in about an hour.
They're $50 a pop this year, and as Jim said, all 81 home dates, those were gone right away. The only thing they're concerned about with those monster seats is that, you know, at ballparks, people occasionally do some drinking, and people lean over, and people are a little bit afraid that somebody might tumble over.
Don't serve them out there then.
You're right. At least the first row.
But they won't do that because they want the money, right? Boomer now, he got Garciaparra out with a changeup, maybe going to a little more change of speeds. That's the advantage of having 4 pitches. His curveball does not appear to be real sharp tonight. We'll go to plan B.
One. 2-1. Popped up foul, out of play. With his double in the first, Ramirez has now hit in 7 straight. He has 78 ribbies. And the 2-2. Missed outside. That's the 50th pitch thrown by Wells, so his pitch count is a little bit high as well. He's been laboring. Just does not look comfortable in his own skin right now. The 3-2. Grounded foul. Jim and I were watching as David walked out of the Yankee dugout to take the mound, and he looked like he was walking on shards of glass.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of pep in his step, and he's been like that since the start. He's just sort of meandered around the mound, and that's not Boomer's usual method of operation. He usually gets the ball ready to go. Here it is. Hit it if you can.
And the 3-2 to Ramirez. Rocketed to left field. That is going to be a base hit. One hop up against the wall. Matsui plays it beautifully, and he will hold Ramirez to a single.
Now Ramirez takes the 3-2 pitch that he knows Boomer's got to get it over. Tried to get it up and in. Manny's too quick. Takes a look at this one like he did the double, but he did step on first base this time. Hit too hard to even think about going for a double on that one. That's a look from the left field corner.
Here's Kevin Millar. Breaking ball strike.
Best one he's thrown tonight. You go into a game with a plan. You got a scouting report, but there's no guarantee that all your pitches are going to be working that night. So that's a catcher's job to help find out which one's your best pitch that particular night.
That was the 54th pitch thrown by Wells. Another breaking ball. And that might be a salvation if he starts to get that over.
And when you mention the pitch count, we said in David's scouting report, 71% of his strikes, of his pitches thrown for strikes. That's the best percentage in the major leagues.
1-2. Driven out to right center field. Converging Bernie Williams and Mondesi. And Ramirez has forgotten how many outs there are. Here's the throw to first. He is out. A double play. Manny Ramirez pulled a rock. He had rounded second before he realized that there was just one out. Bad base running by Manny Ramirez to end the inning. So you score that, a double play, 9-3. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. We go to the fourth, and Nick Johnson leads off. And the first pitch is a strike. What is Manny Ramirez thinking?
He's not. He's hitting.
Oh, my goodness. He couldn't have thought that was falling in, so it had to be that he didn't know how many outs there were. Nick singled in the second, singled to left field. Count 1-1.
In '67, here they call it the Impossible Dream, one of the great pennant races. I was privileged to be involved in that, and the Red Sox came away with the win. Dick Williams was their manager. But in '65 and '6, they had players like Carl Yastrzemski, Tony Canigliaro, Rico Petrocelli, and they would get caught more times running like that with only one out. And it was Williams that came in here and got him focused on concentrating on getting ready to play every game and playing 9 innings. And that, that's one of the first things you get to first base. The coach will tell you. I'm sure Dallas Williams told him, hey, there's one out, watch the outfielders, and then the ball goes up and you're thinking about something else.
2-2. He struck him out. That's the 4th strikeout for Nick Johnson, or for Pedro.
First base coach hollering at him. Manny gets ups, and all of a sudden it hits him. I've gone too far. Too late.
And you know what the worst part about that was, Jim? He forgot how many outs there were and was jogging to second rather than running hard. He should have been out by 20 at first.
Right. Yeah, if you're going to run with 2 out, you think it's 2 out, you ought to be halfway to third, right?
Amazing.
Well, the Yankees that may have seen their last hittable pitch from Pedro.
Mondesi grounded first. That was in the 2nd, so this is his 2nd at bat.
It was like he said to Posada, you've had a tough time against me. Tell you what, here, I'm going to give you one fastball. Boom. Hit it for a home run. And then after, you know, the base is loaded, and since that, nothing.
Blistering fastball on the outside corner.
And his pace is picking up. You see, he's right back on the mound. He's ready to go. A lot of confidence in his stuff.
The 1-2 pitch. Just missed outside, 2-2.
You hear the crowd reaction again. And that's, I guess they throw that pitch out there hoping that the hitter will swing, but it's really a wasted pitch.
Swing and a miss. Pitch diving down and away. 5th strikeout for Pedro. He's retired 3 Yankees in a row. It's time to take a look back at a great moment in Yankee history. We go all the way back 42 years to 1961. Roger Maris hits 4 home runs, tying the American League record for a doubleheader, at least 1 in each game, as New York beat Chicago 5-1 and then 12-0. This look back has been brought to you by Chevy. Chevy will be there. Here's Enrique Wilson. Changeup swung on a miss. Talking to Rick Down, the Yankee hitting coach, and he said with Pedro you're going to get at least 1 fastball each at bat. It would be a good idea to sit on that, because if you're going to try to guess along with him, you will not guess right. There's a ground ball at first, knocks Millard down to his knees. He beats Wilson to the bag, and Pedro has retired 7 in a row after loading the bases in the 2nd. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-1 Boston. Let's take a look at the Lexus quote book here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pedro Martinez said in 1981 or in 2001, "I don't believe in curses. Wake up the Bambino and I'll face him. Maybe I'll drill him in the butt." Well, since he said that, he has lost 6 of 8 subsequent starts against the Yankees. So the Bambino curse is still alive, I guess.
Wow.
But he received a lot of criticism for that. Not here in Boston, because I'll tell you what, Jim, they actually believe that Bambino stuff here in Boston. They have to have an excuse for not winning since 1918. And they sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees in 1919 and have not won a World Series since. So it has to be something, and it's the curse of the Bambino. Here's David Ortiz. That one is whipped, caught by Nick Johnson.
Wow.
Moving quickly to the glove side.
Is he earning his keep, huh? The first game back. Turned to double play, took a base hit away early in the game, and now a base hit away from David Ortiz on that one. Also got a hit himself. Welcome back, Nick.
Here's Bill Miller against David Wells. Miller singled and scored in the 2nd inning. And that's the run that's the difference in this game right now. Red Sox lead 2-1.
Miller 3 for 5 in his brief battle with David Wells. And Boomer searching for a way to get him out.
Looks like he finally got him out. It's going to be a tough play. Shallow center. Here comes Bernie Williams, 2 away.
Well, tomorrow night, turn to the YES Network for an evening of great games and big names. First at 8 o'clock, the premiere of an all-new Yankee Classic. That'll feature Roger Clemens' 299th win as the Rockets' road to 300 travels through Boston. Milestone victory over the Red Sox. And then at 11 o'clock, I'm going to have to get a dish and get this piped in here. Michael Kay goes toe-to-toe with actor Sylvester Stallone on an all-new all-center stage. Learn more about the man behind Rocky and his fascination with sports Sylvester Stallone takes center stage. All starts tomorrow night at 8, only on Yes. What do you say about baseball?
He likes baseball. I think his
More
favorite
into
sport
golf.
is golf.
Oh,
though.
no question.
Oh, does he love golf? That one is driven to center field. Wells is going to have his first 1-2-3 inning. And he does with a fly ball to Bernie Williams and some defensive help from Nick Johnson. Red Sox go down in order. We go to the 5th. It's 2-1 Boston. Hey, why don't we take a look way back to 1923, the Yankees' first World Series victory after they got Babe Ruth. This was the lineup in Game 6 of the final game of the 23 series. Whitey Witt, Joe Dugan, and Babe Ruth at the top. Bob Musial, Wally Pipp, and Aaron Ward in the middle. Wally Shang was the catcher, Everett Scott the shortstop, and Herb Pennock was the pitcher, with Miller Huggins as the manager. This look at the 1923 Yankee championship team has been brought to you by the special edition DVDs of Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown. Buy the DVDs today. Well, we go to the 5th inning, and Alfonso Soriano will lead off top of the Yankee order against Pedro Martinez. There's a strike. Soriano is 0 for 2. Swing and miss. He has really kept the ball away for the most part against Soriano after drilling him the last time he faced him.
I think that's that threat. You know, the threat is there. If you're standing in the batter's box and you're Soriano, you say it's coming up and in. It's coming up and in. And it hasn't been there yet.
The 0-2. That was low and away. He could not hold up. A weak hack by Soriano. One away. The mind plays terrible tricks.
Yeah. Well, the most Pedro has gone this year, as you see, strikeout number 6. He's gone a complete game, but 120. I mean, that pitch is way off there, but when it has such a late break and you're eager to get that bat started, you can't hold up. 121 pitches in 7 innings has been his max.
Right now he's thrown 75. 47 strikes. Here's Jeter. Fly to right and walk. Pitch is outside. Grounder. Diving stop by Kevin Millar. Gets up and beats Jeter to the bag. 2 away. Nice play by Millar, saving at least a double. I say at least because you don't know how the ball is going to hug the wall down there.
This guy's been some kind of pickup for the Red Sox, Kevin Millar. It looked for a while he was going to end up playing in Japan. Usually helps him with the bat, and now with the glove. I mentioned the Red Sox not known for their fielding ability, but 2 great plays by Garciaparra, now one by Millar, have taken hits away from the Yankees.
And there's a strike. Key at bat in this game. 2nd inning, bases loaded. 3-2 pitch on Giambi. He struck out to end the inning against Martinez. Now 1-1. Along with Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball on this Friday evening on CBS 2. We certainly thank you for that. You're tuning into a great game as advertised. Pedro Martinez and David Wells have kept the scoring down to a minimum. It's 2-1 Boston in the top of the 5th. And the count now 1-2. Crowd looking for strikeout number 7. Count 2-2.
They're playing in and out with Giambi. The 2 strikes were out. The 2 balls were in. And it's just about that time, if you're Giambi, say, well, I guess they're going back out, and then they'll double up and come back in.
2-2. Tried out again, and the count is full. Pedro's at 82 pitches, 50 of them strikes, so 61% in the strike zone. Foul back. Rick Down, the Yankee hitting coach, told me that the danger in facing Martinez is that you go up there and you give him too much credit and you kind of defeat it before you get into the batter's box. He said you have to go up there and take your hats and believe that you can hit him. So far the Yankees have picked up 3 base hits in 4 2/3. The 3-2. He struck him out with high heat. And that is the 7th strikeout for Pedro, and he has retired 5 of the last 7 via the strikeout. He's also retired 10 Yankees in a row. At the end of 4 1/2, we're halfway through. Boston 2 and the Yankees 1. Tonight after the game, when Big Brother moved in the house guest X's, it became a whole new game and the social experiment of the summer. The X Factor heats up on an all-new Big Brother right after tonight's game. Bottom of the 5th inning, Boston leads the Yankees 2-1. Jason Varitek leading off, took a first pitch strike from David Wells. Sharp ground ball is short. Jeter stays with it. 1 away.
Yeah, Michael, we showed you that. You showed that lineup of the 1923 Yankees, their first World Series after Babe Ruth got there. Babe Ruth was the pitcher, one of the pitchers when the Red Sox won the 1918 World Series. And I've got an old book that my dad has handed me down a tremendous baseball library, and I happened to be reading last night a book about Judge Landis, and it talked in there about how he took over because of the scandal in 1919, and it touched on the 1918 World Series. You know, because of World War I, the season was called off at Labor Day. The season was cut short, and the Red Sox and the Cubs were declared the winners. And then there was a special dispensation to allow the World Series to be played. But because of the short season and the war going on, the gate receipts were not what they thought they would be.
That's through the right side for a base hit. The 3rd base hit for Johnny Damon, 3 for 3 against David Wells.
I'll tell you, Boomer is, I think that discussion at the end of the inning between home plate umpire Dana DeMuth, and I know his history. He's never been known as a real pitcher's umpire. And I saw Boomer, after that ball went into right field, look at the home plate umpire, not happy with the strike zone. But the left-hand hitters, anything out over the plate, these left-hand hitters that Boston has are tough, and they're doing some damage. Where the Red Sox have 7 hits, and I think at least 5 of them are by left-hand hitters.
I think you're right.
Anyway, with that 1918 World Series, the payoffs were going to be $2,000 for every player on the winning team, $1,500 to the losing team. And the commission, there wasn't a commissioner then, there was a national commission. Ban Johnson was part of it, and he said the payoffs are going to be about half that. You imagine $1,000 if you win and $700 if you lose. And the players actually were not going to go out on the field. They sat in the dugouts, and the game was delayed for an hour before they started that World Series, before they were finally talked into saying, hey, for the sake of the game and the public and the war going on, they decided to go ahead and play.
So they got 1,000 and 750.
They got 1,000 to win, and about 700 for the losing team.
That's meal money today. The 1-0 outside. And then after that, the owner of the Red Sox, Harry Frazee, wanted to put on a production of No No Nanette. Needed the money, and he sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees. I believe it was for $300,000, which was a tremendous amount of money in those days. And it wrecked the Red Sox franchise and really put the Yankees on the map, so to speak. Because of the trade or the purchase of Ruth, they could buy the land and then build Yankee Stadium, which opened up in 1923, and that's why it's called the house that Ruth built. And the rest, as they say, is baseball history. 3-0 upstairs, so Todd Walker walks appropriately. Runners on first and second and 1 out.
He's got to get his focus back. I think he let that one pitch to Johnny Damon upset him. You see some guys out in the Yankee bullpen beginning to stretch and get loose, as this is very uncharacteristic of Boomer to throw this many pitches and this many balls.
He had 6 walks coming into the game. That's his second walk of the game. And here's Garcia Parra, runners on first and second. You know he'll be hacking at the first or second pitch. Takes the first one inside, 1-0. Well, Yankee fans, visit Yankees.com for all the latest news, ticket information, audio and video of your favorite team exclusively at Yankees.com, the official site of the New York Yankees. And another conference with Wells. And you usually don't see that many conferences with Yankee pitchers because they're all veterans. So he's not feeling it. And I guess what Posada's trying to do is get some kind of pulse on what Wells wants to do. A 1-0. Fouled straight back here. 1-1. One pitch, grounded foul. And a very nice play in the dugout by Kareem Garcia. Garcia Parra with 55 extra base hits. That's tied for third with Delgado in the American League. Garrett Anderson 62, Vernon Wells 60. Wells spins and fakes towards second, chasing back Damon. Nobody there to receive a throw.
Well, this is one park where third base coaches will tell that runner at second, you have to get a big lead to score on a base hit to left field. So always try to get a little bigger lead here at Fenway than most other ballparks off second base.
Mike Cubbage, the third base coach for the Red Sox. One-two. Fly ball to deep center field. Bernie Williams backing up. He has room. He'll put it away. Tagging is Damon. He'll go to third. And the throw comes in to Jeter, who then flips it to Soriano. So the Red Sox have runners on first and third with 2 outs. And here's Manny Ramirez.
Left fielder, number 24, Manny Ramirez.
They talked about third base coaches. When Buck Showalter was the third base coach for Stump Merrill in the beginning of the 90s, he said that this was the toughest ballpark to be a third base coach.
I can imagine. There's the third inning, and Manny rounds second with only 1 out and can't get back. Gets doubled up. Well, Pedro's game was the top of the second when he had to strike out Giambi with the bases loaded, and this is Boomer's game right here. This to him is like the last out in the 9th inning.
Ramirez has doubled and singled. Has an RBI, 2 for 2. And the pitch inside. Kevin Millar is on deck. Now, Wells does have the great control that he could actually walk him and not worry about walking in a run. You see Manny Ramirez. He has 27 home runs lifetime against the Yankees. That's good for 4th amongst active players. There's Millar. The 1-0. There's a strike.
Yeah, and he's been good protection for Manny this year. Kevin Millar's been very productive for the Red Sox as a DH. or playing first base.
Ramirez, a .429 hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. RBIs are definitely his game. 1-1. Nice pitch on the outside part of the plate, 1-2.
Boomer going with some off-speed pitches. He's thrown a lot of changeups tonight. Very few curveballs.
Manny taking forever. Now Wells gets annoyed and walks off the backside of the mound.
Manny Ramirez, one of the better, when you mention these situations, he is such a good 2-strike breaking ball hitter. He can wait till the last minute before he commits. Your best bet with 2 strikes is still that good fastball up and in. Easier to say than to do. Not an easy pitch to get in there.
And the 1-2. Breaking ball, strike 3. Ramirez looking for something else. He dropped a curveball right down the middle for the final out of the inning, and that is a big strikeout for David Wells. Red Sox strand 2 with 1 hit. We go to the 6th. It's 2-1 Boston. We go to the 6th inning here at Fenway Park. Boston 2 and the Yankees 1. A big strikeout of Manny Ramirez by David Wells, and Bernie Williams set to face Pedro Martinez. Bernie's 1 for 2. Pedro has retired 10 Yankees in a row. Pitch is low.
Yeah, you talk about a big strikeout. I mentioned what a good 2-strike breaking ball hitter Manny is, and he is. But Boomer may have thrown his best curveball. It wasn't down, but it had such a big break to it. It caught the outside part of the plate and froze Ramirez.
The 1-0. Low and inside. Foul back.
Mentioned that was like the last out in the 9th inning for Boomer, and in our keys to the game talked about keeping it close. Now the Red Sox bullpen is improved, but Pedro, his record is 7-2. He's got 8 no decisions, and the Red Sox in those no decisions are 3-5.
Hit sharply and past the diving Walker into right field. So a leadoff base hit for Bernie Williams here in the 6th.
Well, Pedro has 7 strikeouts. He's got a lot of weapons. Let's look at some of them. The first one is a changeup to Soriano, and a fastball to Giambi, and a breaking ball to Posada. Another breaking ball gets Nick Johnson. Yet another one gets Mondesi way outside, and then another fastball. 3 different pitches he can strike you out with.
Pedro lurking behind Roger Clemens. 12 strikeouts off the lead, right in front of Mike Messina. Bernie goes, and it's fouled away. Think that was a straight steal or a hit and run?
No, I think it was a hit and run. If it was a straight steal, I think Matsui would have taken it, because it was a breaking ball down and in. Might have been a very difficult pitch for Varitek to throw on. I think Bernie just coming back off the DL, and he doesn't have those good base stealing instincts. I think the hit and run's more logical than trying to steal.
Quick throw by Martinez. Bernie dives back.
Pedro does what you'd like to teach pitchers to do. He sits on that back leg. Bernie just got his hand in. He sits on that back leg, which is really the throwing position. If you stand straight up, eventually you're going to get in that position. And then he's got quick feet to make the pickoff move with.
A little fastball by Matsui, who fouled it into the glove of Varitek. 0-2. Pedro's thrown 90 pitches, 56 strikes. One mistake, a fastball to Posada, first pitch of the second inning, and Posada deposited it into the Red Sox bullpen in right center. You see Pedro when he's in that set position and he keeps jerking his head back. I'm surprised they don't call that deceiving the runner.
No, as long as he doesn't move his hands. You can move your head all you want. As long as you don't move your hands or start a motion.
Although I guess there are exceptions to that because Tiant moved his hands.
No, not once he came set. You can't.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8.
Yeah, there's another weapon. He waited. He gave Matsui a real quick motion like he's going to throw a fastball, and he threw a changeup. You can see the changeup grip. Gave him a slide step, almost a quick pitch, which alerts the hitter, oh, I got to get ready, and then he threw him a changeup. There's LT. See, Louis would start up top, and he'd keep his hands moving down, and then he'd finally stop him at the belt, because once you stop them, you can't move them again unless you're going home.
But you wouldn't think that any pitcher would be able to do that now. That same thing. What Tiante did.
Should be able to.
Hot shot ground ball past the diving Walker and into right field. Bernie Williams is going to try for third. He will make it as Trot Nixon flips it into Garcia Power. One thing the Red Sox don't have, they don't have any range at second base in Todd Walker. 2 balls get through in this inning that other better second baseman might have at least knocked down.
Well, Jorge's going to want the scorecard for a souvenir after this one. 2 hits against Pedro, a multi-hit game. Mentioned coming in, he had struck out 26 times against him. Has a home run now, big single. Bernie never hesitates and gets into third easily.
So the Yankees now a fly ball away from possibly tying the game. Martinez at 94. Check that at 93. His high 121 pitch count. Inside. Red Sox looking for the double play.
Yeah, and Willie will come over to talk to Bernie. He's, you know, one thing at third base right now, you got to make up your mind in a hurry. A double play ball never hesitates. You got to go right for home on contact.
Missed inside, 2-0.
Some more of that gel you sell.
And there's a strike. Pedro is used to not getting much run support. In his last 9 starts, beginning May 15th, he's had a 1.29 ERA. But that's only good enough for 4-0 with 5 no decisions. For some reason, when he's on the mound, he does not get the run counter. Three and one.
Now here's a count that Joe Torre usually hits and runs. Dangerous against Pedro because he strikes so many hitters out. You don't make. But if you put that play on right now, you just about guarantee yourself getting a run. If Nick Johnson makes contact, hits it toward one of the middle infielders, you're going to pick up a run. I think that's what Willie again walked over to Bernie Williams, said, hey, be ready.
And the big danger is Posada with no speed at first. So if Nick Johnson swings and misses.
Be a gutsy play, but you don't get too many chances against this guy.
Posada inches off. He goes. And it's ground ball to second, just what Kitty called. They'll only get one, and Bernie Williams scored. They stay out of the double play, and the Yankees and the Red Sox are tied at 2.
Perfect call, perfect execution as far as Nick Johnson. Just the one thing you didn't want him to do if you're Joe Torre is hit a rocket. But he hit a nice, soft 3-4 hopper, and he only had one play, and it becomes a productive out and an RBI.
And they congratulate Nick Johnson and Bernie Williams as the Yankees scratch that run together to tie the game at 2. Now the go-ahead run is at second base, and here's Raul Mondesi. And the pitch. He stays away from Mondesi. And that is Mondesi's Achilles heel. Oh for 2 tonight. That one is driven out to right center field. Trot Nixon is there, and Nixon's the one, puts it away for the final out of the inning. Yankees tie the game, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-2. Don't miss the next CBS 2 Yankees game when the Bombers go to Anaheim. Yankees-Angels Tuesday night at 10 right here on CBS 2, the official broadcast home of the New York Yankees. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Kevin Millar leads off against David Wells. Pitch is high. At Wells, you've got to feel pretty good about things. You don't feel great out there. You seem uncomfortable, but you got a 2-2 game against Pedro Martinez as you go to the bottom of the 6th inning, so you get a chance to win. There's a strike.
Especially because, you know, after tying the game up against Pedro and the way the Red Sox monitor his pitch count, unless because we're into the last 2 months of the season and they're saying, hey, if we're going to win the East or a wild card, we've got to leave him out there. But history says after the next inning, he's gone. He's got 1 complete game this year. He has 1 where he's gone 8 innings, but both of those very low pitch counts. The Red Sox feel a lot better about their bullpen. There's pitching coach Dave Wallace, who has taken over for Tony Cloninger, who's had to leave the team because of illness. Todd Jones that they picked up from Colorado, and now added Scott Sauerbeck from Pittsburgh, and Kim has been lights out as a closer.
Both the Red Sox and the Yankees have improved their bullpen from the beginning of the year, and they had to. And I think both of them look toward what would they do in the playoffs with the old bullpen, and neither team would have done well. The Red Sox might not have had a chance to go to the playoffs with the bullpen they had, but dramatically different, both of them.
I think this is as many changeups. Be interesting to talk to Mel when they see the pitching chart. That was another changeup. The most changeups I've seen Boomer throw in a long time. He's usually, the fastball is his main pitch, obviously.
Well, he's working much more economically than Pedro. That was his 84th pitch. 67% of them strikes. He came into the game 71.6% first pitch strikes, which is the best in the major leagues. He's also used to some run support. Second in the major leagues. He gets 6.9 runs per game scored for him. And only Mark Hendrickson of the Blue Jays has more with 7.1. 2-2. A little bit high, and the count is full at 3-2. See the run support we're talking about. Casey Fossum, who's now in the Boston bullpen, gets 6.75, and Derek Lowe 6.52. That's a minimum of 10 starts. The 3-2. Strike 3, inside corner. Millar down looking. Not enamored with the call. Neither is Grady Little.
Well, the only thing you can see from the dugouts is height. So did they think it was high? Because after a couple of those curveballs missed outside, he came back inside with the fastball. Certainly isn't too high. See, if you nowadays a strike at the letters, when we were kids, you'd hear the, you know, Mel Allen, Red Barber. You'd hear Red to say strike at the letters. You don't get many strikes at the letters anymore, but that was underneath the letters. So certainly height-wise, it was well within the strike zone and had the inside part of the plate.
Along with Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees Red Sox here on CBS 2 on this Friday night. And what a great way to spend a Friday evening. And one of the classic rivalries in sports history. Yankees Red Sox, a battle for first place. At least the series is. This is game 1 of the series, and the Yankees and the Red Sox are tied at 2. Yankees come into this series 2.5 games ahead of the Red Sox in the American League East. And the 0-1 gets past Posada. As advertised, it's been a pretty good pitcher's duel. David Wells against Pedro Martinez. Red Sox with runs in the first and the second. Yankees with a run in the second and one in the sixth to tie it up. Missed outside. .90 pitchers for Wells, 58 of them strikes. And the 2-1. Grounded foul. And the ball gets loose down the right field line. The ball girl will retrieve. And now we're about ready. Two-two, foul back. Hit sharply to second. Soriano is there to did you like pitching in this ballpark?
Loved it.
You did.
I was talking with Ron Jackson, their hitting coach, before the game tonight about that very thing. And we were watching David Ortiz and Trot Nixon, hit balls out in the bullpen in the seats because the hitters are so much stronger. They're using those light bats. But for years, when you had like Rico Petrocelli and Tony Conigliere, all they wanted to do was pull the ball. So if you could get right-hand hitters to hit the ball to right field where it's 385, 380 down there right at the Yankee bullpen, that was a good place to make them hit the ball. Because every right-hand hitter for the most part wants to pull the ball here. Now you have I think Nomar's gone deep to right field, and Manny Ramirez, see right out in right center field, it's 380. Center field corner is 420, which is really on the right field side of center field.
Popped up first base side. Nick Johnson giving chase. So is Soriano. And a nice play. No, he dropped the ball. Soriano had it in his glove, and then he dropped the ball. Not an easy play, but we'll see how they score it. David Wells would say that should be an out.
Yeah, that's a tough. You got 3 guys running, looking at the baseball, and you're trying to communicate. That's just right in that zone. Nick Johnson may have had the best shot at it, and Alfonso just at the last minute, it's drifting back toward him, and he gets a glove on it, can't hold it. Gives you an idea what the wind is doing. Nick Johnson tracking it, and it came back in toward fair territory.
And they do give Soriano an error, E4.
Really? Wow, that's a tough error. I mean, when you look at the degree of difficulty, because he's running toward the barrier down there, had to run a long ways to get it. Ooh. That's one Boomer's glad he got back. And that's what you always fear as a pitcher. You think you have that third out on a foul ball. Check this pitch out right here. And the swing that Miller has. That had the screen written all over it.
And the 3-2. Fouled away again.
Another changeup.
Well, I said how much more economical David Wells has been than Pedro, but when this inning's over, they'll both be about even. They'll both have about 100 pitches. David Wells is about to throw his 100th right now. 3-2 inside. So the E4 is costly to Wells because he loses Miller and now has to face Trot Nixon.
3 walks tonight.
3 walks.
It's 2 months worth.
He now has 9. He started with 6. And we said at the beginning he just looked out of sorts, and boy, is that a manifestation of being out of sorts.
Could be. It's a number of things. He's not comfortable with his back. He's not comfortable with the strike zone, or he's just not happy with the fact that he's missing his location with his pitches.
Breaking ball misses away to Trot Nixon. Two-2 game. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning at Fenway. First of 3 between these two. It's also the first game of a 9-game road trip for the Yankees. They'll be away until next Sunday. After Boston, they head to Anaheim. Monday's an off day. Then on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they play the world champion Angels 3 games. And then they head to Oakland, where they'll play the Oakland Athletics 3 games, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. Mel's going to call the bullpen. The 2-0. 3-0.
Yeah, he's not right. How about that? Jesse Orosco, the old veteran. Looks like they're going to let Boomer, if he doesn't get out of this, face Veritek, and Jesse Orosco have to get ready for Johnny Damon if it gets that far.
And the 3-0. There's a strike. Red Sox fans' memory of Jesse Orosco not too pleasant.
No.
Helped beat them in 1986. And the 3-1. Missed inside. And how about that? David Wells came into this game with 6 walks, and he has 4 in this game alone.
Mel's going to come out and give Jesse Orosco a little more time to get ready should they not get Veritek. Curveball way outside. That one's way not even close. In at the knees. You got to believe it's his back.
He keeps getting into that catcher's crouch.
Yeah, he keeps
The one thing that's different about Boomer, though, we don't know what he's feeling, and we're just trying to play doctor from up here. If it is his back or he's not feeling comfortable, the old David Wells would have packed it in. But he has persevered, and he's kept the Yankees in the game at 2-2.
Yeah.
You could see he is really struggling. And the umpire, Dana DeMuth, broke up that conference, and he just looks uncomfortable. He doesn't have the happy facial expression that he has on the mound
He has
usually.
from the start.
Well, this is a big batter here. Before they even get to Orosco, Veritek can do a lot of damage. So runners on first and second with 2 outs. Veritek 0 for 2 against David Wells. And the pitch. Missed outside. Now David staring in at Dana DeMuth. He wanted that call. Breaking ball missed inside, 2-0. A couple of years ago, while with the White Sox, he had major back surgery. Then before his first season of his second tour of duty with the Yankees, came into camp in great shape, won 19 games for them last year. And he's done an unbelievable job for them this year at 12-3. But getting that back loose is always a task each and every day. The 2-0. Check swing and a high fastball, 3-0. And Wells is asking DeMuth, was that too high? No, it wasn't. DeMuth is not going to enjoy that.
Yeah, that's a little bit higher than the one he called Millar out on.
Umps don't like that. Let's see if they green light Varitek. The 3-0. Right down the middle, 3-1. Fastball, only 85 miles an hour. But he just laid that one in there, hoping that Varitek was taken. Runners on first and second and 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Wells against Pedro. Pedro watching, hoping for runs. One pitch. He walked them 3 walks in 1 inning. 5 walks for the game, and that will do it for David Wells.
Boy, how'd you like to be in Jesse Orosco's shoes right now? His first appearance as a Yankee gets to come into the bases loaded in Fenway Park. Wow.
Joe taps Boomer on the backside, and he will get booed here at Fenway Park. It's a 2-2 game, but there is danger lurking. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and Jesse Orosco comes in to make his first Yankee appearance against Johnny Damon. While Mel's looking at matchups, we can tell him what he's looking for. Jesse Orosco is 1, or should I say Johnny Damon 1 for 7 against Orosco, making his first Yankee appearance.
That's his record on the year. There's the Padres, where Jesse makes his home in San Diego, very comfortable there. And he said, I can't pass this opportunity up. I believe this will be his 1,230th appearance in the big leagues. And that's a record. And a look back at 1986. I don't think you could jump like that at age 46 right now.
You'll pull something. Jesse's one of only 3 active pitchers to have pitched in 1,000 games. The others, Philadelphia's Dan Plesac and the Mets' John Franco. So this is a good way to indoctrinate yourself into the pinstripes. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Tie game, Johnny Damon at the plate. And Orosco deals. There's a strike on the outside corner. That slingshot motion. He says, I've been blessed with a great left arm. Doesn't throw very hard, but he doesn't hurt himself and gets the ball over.
Tough to pick up the ball.
And the 0-1 outside. Last time Jesse pitched was 5 days ago. It was against the Diamondbacks. And the history between Damon and Orosco, when Damon was with the Royals and Orosco with the Orioles. 1-1. Foul back. Jesse said that this is his final year, except he has an agreement with Kevin Towers, the general manager of the Padres, that if he's going to play next year, it will only be for San Diego.
Got that fastball up there, 88. That's not bad for 46 years old.
Nice pitching totals. Great ERA, 3.13. And he has 7 games over 500, 144 saves. The 1-2. He struck him out.
How about that?
What a debut for Jesse Orosco. He comes in with the bases loaded and 2 outs and strikes out Johnny Damon. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 3 men left. We go to the 7th. It's a dandy, 2-2.
Wow, what a job by Jesse Orosco. Bases loaded, 2 out, and let's check out how he went at Johnny Damon. Now check out Orosco's elbow action. That's the slingshot Michael mentioned. And gets him on the slider. And if Paul O'Neill is watching this game, he's saying, yep, I know all about that.
Pedro dealing to Wilson. There's a strike.
Paul in his career was 1 for 18 against Orosco, and I think all left-hand hitters talked about how difficult it was to pick up the ball.
The 0-1 outside. What a way to break in. Oldest player in the major leagues with a new team in a big spot, and he does his job. 2-2 game.
Well, you get to play. You come from San Diego and you get to play on a team that obviously has a chance to go to the World Series, and right away you're in a pennant race, and it kind of heightens your concentration and gets the adrenaline going. Everybody doesn't respond favorably to it. But when you look at the Yankees this year, I mean, Acevedo stumbled late, but in April he saved 5 games. Dan Maselli, who was let go today, came in, got a save in his first appearance.
There's a line drive, base hit to right field. So Enrique Wilson 1 for 2 against Martinez with a walk.
That's the Yankees' secret weapon tonight, Enrique Wilson, who has had as much success against Pedro Martinez as any hitter in the big leagues. And then another acquisition, Curtis Pride, came in and contributed. Looked like a changeup. Enrique waited on it. Now, when's the last time Alfonso's bunted?
Soriano has not had much success tonight against Pedro. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And he does bunt, and if it stays fair, it's successful, but it kicks foul. This is tight, so obviously a tight game is going to be decided by the bullpen. The Yankees have already gone into theirs, and Pedro with 106 pitches is not that long for this ball game either. So whether you win or lose is going to be decided who has the better bullpen tonight.
It's another advantage as Soriano looks down at Willie Randolph. It's another advantage of standing way up in front of the box. That's what you're taught to do when you bunt. If you're in the middle, you step up in front of the plate. So when that ball makes contact with the bat, you have a better chance of keeping it fair.
Now Bill Miller is in on the grass at third. Maybe Soriano swings away this time. He does, and it's behind him.
Whoa!
And that will advance Wilson to second.
Tough pitch to hit. High and behind him. What a break that is. Looked like Pedro tried to pull down on a breaking ball. Looked like a breaking ball that slipped out of his hands. And just like that, the Yankees don't need the sacrifice. Although,
Moving him to third.
I would move him to third. Joe might be thinking right now, I mean, if you're not called on to bunt a lot, you're not a very good bunter. But at least in this situation where Alfonso is up in front of the box, he's got to do something to, if not bunt, poke the ball to the right side and advance the runner.
Bunting again. Very poor bunter. It's better if he just tried to lay down a bunt for a hit, because he doesn't know how to sacrifice. It's very clear.
Well, guys who are run producers don't get called on to do that very often. That's why they're not too good at it. Now you go to your emergency swing and Just see if you can chop something on the infield and move up the runner.
Double-barreled action.
Like Scott Sauerbeck and Mike Timlin.
That's who it is. It is kind of odd, though, because Soriano is a run producer. He does have 24 RBIs or 24 home runs, but he's still a leadoff batter, and you expect the leadoff guy to be able to bunt. But Soriano really is a number 3 or 4 type hitter with his skills. One, two, way upstairs.
You ever play pepper? You know what pepper is? You stand, you just kind of take half swings. That's always a good thing. Casey Stengel used to call it the butcher boy, but they can't call you out for bunting the third strike because you're not really bunting, but you're taking a half swing, just trying to make contact and chop it on the ground.
Runner on second base, nobody out. That runner is Enrique Wilson. Varitek calls time and runs out to talk with Pedro. Sauerbeck is out there to get Giambi if it goes that far, and it might.
Scott Sauerbeck, to a name not familiar to all of you watching tonight, is the left-hander the Red Sox acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates, just like Jesse Orosco, and you saw him make the sign. That's his pitch, his curveball. Not a particularly hard thrower, but has a good curveball that he drops down, throws sidearm.
2-2. Just missed outside. Crowd wanted it. Pedro wanted it. So did Grady Little.
Well, Dana DeMuth is living up to his name. He has never been known as a pitcher's umpire. Strike zone has always been a little tight. But again, Varitek is set up outside. That's why you don't get that call. If you're behind the plate and you catch that pitch and bring it into you, you'll get a strike.
And the 3-2. He struck him out. High fastball. Leaks back for a little something extra. And he's screaming at DeMuth, you made me throw one more pitch. Let's take a look at the Ford game summary brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford store with the best-selling vehicles in America. 2-6-1 Yankees, 2-7-0 Red Sox. Posada solo home run in the second. Damon 3 for 4 with a ribby. Ramirez 2 for 3 with a ribby. Martinez 6 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Wells relieved by Jesse Orosco for the final out of the 6th inning, went 5 2/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks. He came in having walked 6 all year and 3 strikeouts. 2-2 game, top of the 7th. Here is Derek Jeter. Jeter's 0 for 2 with a walk. And the pitch inside. So they are hanging with Martinez here. Both relievers are ready, and they're just watching the action from the bullpen in right center. Way outside. Grady Little looked like he was in a defensive stance. Now he sits down. Not an easy job. Manager of the Boston Red Sox, a rabid fan base, a frustrated fan base. They examine, scrutinize, criticize everything. Martinez 114 pitches, 69 strikes. The 2-0. Jeter could not hold up on a fastball. 2-1. Wilson led off with a single to right center, moved to second on a wild pitch. Soriano trying to bunt him over, could not, then ended up striking out. Runner on second with 1 out. Blew a fastball by him up and in, and then the count 2-2. Now Varitek goes out and talks with Martinez.
Again, you see this, the tight spin and the movement, and Pedro, more than any other pitcher, is able to hold that ball out near the tips of his fingers. That's why he gets such tight and fast rotation and such movement. I notice Wilson has been taking a long look at third base, like he'd like to get a big enough lead to try to steal it.
Two. Foul back.
Well, if Rick down, Michael, if he said you're going to get one good fastball to hit every at bat, that was one that Derek had out over the plate. Had a good swing at it.
Runner goes to third. The pitch is high. No throw. So a stolen base by Enrique Wilson. And now that will force the Red Sox to bring the infield in with a 3-2 count on Derek Jeter.
Boy, Enrique was looking. He kept looking at Garciaparra, looking at third base, just kind of sensing whether he could get a good enough jump, and he finally got the one he wanted. That helps Derek Jeter out now. As Michael said, they have to bring the infield in. No chance for Veritek. Got too good a jump.
And the 3-2. Missed up and away. Jeter walks. And Pedro stares. Oh, umpires hate that.
But I'll tell you, both pitchers, and it is amazing in a game like this with two great pitchers, and you have an umpire that might have one of the tightest strike zones in all of baseball.
Veritek smartly standing in front of DeMuth. And Pedro saying, hey, I got to get that guy out. I don't get that call. Wells did the same thing, but DeMuth's fuse was shorter on Pedro there. Took off the mask right away.
Well, let's see what Pedro said. It wasn't high. And really it isn't. It's not any higher than the pitch, but it's outside. Again, Veritek is setting up outside. DeMuth didn't take that pitch away from him.
Now DeMuth goes out to break it up on the mound, and Grady Little's going to have a say. So is Pedro Martinez.
I tell you, you get penalized when your catcher sets up outside the strike zone, and I don't know why teams continue to do it.
With Sauerbeck ready, they're going to let Pedro pitch to Giambi. Now, Pedro has handled Giambi, 2 strikeouts today, also a walk. He also has 119 pitches. He's approaching his season high in that category. What was it, 124 you said?
121.
Now, the infield is at double play depth. Jeter has good speed at first. We'll see what the Yankees do. They have a lot of things they can do. They could straight steal him. They could send the runner, have Giambi go, and then have Wilson try to score, as they did to tie the game at 2. That was in the 6th inning. And at that time in the 6th inning, they had Posada at first, so they didn't have that much speed to work with there. You question this at all, keeping him in?
No, not at all. No, I mean, right now he's their ace, and it'd be a, granted, you say we got a left-hander out there warming up. Why wouldn't you bring him in? Well, it's because it's Pedro Martinez, and he's the best man for the job right now. I think if the Yankees had gone ahead and taken the lead, he'd be out of there, and Sauerbeck would be in.
Top of the 7th inning, runners on first and third, 1 man out. Blew a fastball right by him.
Right now, what Derek Jeter would like to do is get the kind of lead and jump that Enrique Wilson did. You're not apt to hit and run with Giambi. He doesn't make contact as much as say Nick Johnson, who executed it in his at bat.
Crowd kind of hushed. This is nail biting time.
Yeah, see, if you get behind in the count or something like right now with Giambi, if you're Jeter, and you take off, you put a lot of pressure on Varitek. He throws to second, you get caught in a rundown and see if you can steal a run with Giambi. That's if it goes to 1 and 2. And I'd probably do it right now. Of course, I'm not Joe Torre or Don Zimmer. I'll guarantee you Zim had some influence on that 3-1 hit and run, and he might right here.
And the 1-2. He struck him out. Jeter did not go. 10th strikeout for Pedro Martinez.
Ball. Good moving fastball. And another one. And another one. That's just raw heat right there. I think a little of that was anger that he didn't get what he thought was strike 3 against Derek Jeter.
Well, Pedro is now in uncharted territory this season. 123 pitches. Crowd chanting Pedro. It's now Pedro Martinez against Bernie Williams. Runners on first and third, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Game tied at 2. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, if you're Derek Jeter, I mean, Billy Martin used to call it the old broken wing Bob White. The runner takes off and you stumble or fall or get in a rundown and put some pressure on Varitek to maybe throw to the wrong base.
And the 0-1. Bernie jackknifes out of the way, 1-1. Bernie today has 2 base hits against Pedro, 2 for 3. Again inside, and the count now 2-1. On deck is Matsui. Enrique Wilson's at third, Derek Jeter at first, Sauerbeck and Timlin already in the outfield. But this is Pedro's game right now. Popped up foul, 2-2. 1 strike away from getting out of this mess.
Boy, he has energized this crowd. We come in here often to talk about how quiet Fenway crowds are. Not this one.
You cannot see an empty seat in this ballpark.
Or anybody sitting.
A pressure-packed series, a pressure-packed moment. It's only the end of July, but each time these teams play, it has a special meaning. Bernie steps out to pull the plug just a little bit on the crowd electricity. And the 2-2. Line drive, base hit to right field for Bernie Williams. Wilson scores. Derek Jeter moves to second. A big RBI single for Bernie Williams. And the Yankees take a 3-2 lead.
Wow, what an at-bat by Bernie, and Grady Little extended Pedro Martinez as far as he has all year. 3-2. A breaking ball.
So Pedro, another start against the Yankees. Another time he will not get a win. This time he could actually get a loss. So they bring in Scott Sauerbeck, the left-hander, to face Hideki Matsui. First and second, 2 outs for the Yankees. They're up 3-2. Stay right here. Well, Pedro Martinez went where he had not gone before this year. His highest pitch count, going up against Bernie Williams. Williams gets his 3rd hit of the night against Pedro.
Yeah, and he blew Giambi away with all fastballs, opted to go to a breaking ball on Bernie. And Bernie hit it sharply. Here's Scott Sauerbeck, lefty against lefty guy. That's his total record, including Pittsburgh. Drops down to the side and has a good curveball.
And the pitch to Matsui. Here's a strike. Matsui had the jelly leg and was leaning out of the way of that breaking ball. 0-1. Obviously no history between these two. And this is why they got Sauerbeck for these situations. And the 0-1. Outside, 1-1. There could be a wrinkle in the trade. They sent Brandon Lyon to the Pirates, and now the Pirates are saying that Lyon's elbow's not right. And that might have to force the Red Sox to give up another player. Swing and a miss. Talked to Theo Epstein, their GM today, said Brandon Lyon was able to pitch every time we gave him the ball here. He said there was nothing wrong with him. He was a healthy player, and there's Theo right there when we had him. So I doubt that there's something wrong with him now. One-two, hung on and missed. Got him on a breaking ball, but the damage has been done. Yankees take the lead. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6.5, get up and stretch. It's the Yankees 3 and Boston CBS 2. New York Yankees baseball on CBS 2 is brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling, Toyota. By BP Amoco. Amoco and BP. Brand new look, same great gasoline. And by your New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Lexus dealer. Really fun game. Yankees lead 3-2. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Each team with 7 hits. The Yankees pushed across a run in the 7th inning against Pedro Martinez. Todd Walker will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, and Jesse Orosco, who struck out Johnny Damon to get the Yankees out of a bases-loaded 2-out jam. He's in there to face Walker, and this will be the last batter he will face. And the pitch to Walker is outside. Jesse right now is in line to pick up the victory if the Yankee bullpen can hold on. Armando Benitez warming for the Yankees, so we're going to see the whole crew tonight. Everybody's going to get tested. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Yankees lead 3-2. First game of a 3-game set. A battle for first place. Yankees come into Fenway 2.5 games ahead of the Boston Red Sox. That one is popped up. Shallow center field. Coming on, Bernie Williams. Still coming. And he makes a basket catch right in front of Derek Jeter for the first out of the inning. So good job so far by Jesse Orosco, and that's all he has to do. That is his job on this team. Get out lefties. He's done that with Damon and here with Walker.
You see Bernie to really turn it on the Jets, because anytime a guy takes a full swing and hits it off the end of the bat, you think the ball's going to be hit a little deeper than it is. And Jesse Orosco appreciates it. What a terrific job in his first appearance as a Yankee. 2 up, 2 down. Couldn't get a W.
And now another new Yankee. Not in his first appearance, but his first really big one. Armando Benitez jogs in from the bullpen. Benitez against Garciaparra and Ramirez. Yankees lead 3-2. We're going to step aside for a moment, but where are you going? You stay right here. Well, Joe Torre goes to Armando Benitez after Jesse Orosco did his job. And now Benitez steps into this cauldron, and the Yankees are up 3-2. He will face no more Garciaparra. 1-0.
Combined Mets-Yankees. He's made 3 appearances for the Yankees, 2 of them outstanding, 1 average.
Nub foul. They bring Armando a little bit earlier today, although they could use Mariano for a 2-inning save this time. So they'll try to get Armando to get through this inning and then as much of the 8th as he can. Garciaparra 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored against David Wells. Sharp ground ball is short, a worm burner. Grabbed by Jeter, 2 away.
Well, you're taking an out at a time if you're Joe Torre, but realistically you could use Benitez for 4 outs and Mariano for 4 outs. And this is what the Yankees have visualized, I think, since the days of Mariano and John Wetland. Is not that they're going to be perfect every time, but you can really shorten up the game with these 2 guys.
This is a potentially exciting matchup. A blazer against a guy who hits the fastball well, also hits the breaking ball well. Power against power. Just fouled the bat. Yeah, 97 miles an hour.
This is great. This is just country hardball. I mean, he could throw 3 right past Manny, and if Manny catches up with one, he could hit one at off the fleet side. I mean, that's all it is hardball. He's done pretty good against Benitez.
Another fastball, 97.
Man, and he just missed it. But of course, with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, that's what you do a lot of times. You just miss it. Right on time and fouled it straight back.
Now here's where Benitez sometimes gets into trouble. Would you suggest a wrinkle here or go right back with 97?
The 2 guys that know are Benitez and Posada. You know, I'd know if I was on the mound, but I don't know up here.
The 0-2. One with another fastball.
And the reason I say that is that's a common question in the doubt. What would you throw him? What would you throw him? Well, the pitcher has a feel for how his pitches feel. Was his breaking ball good in the bullpen? Posada has a feel for what Ramirez has seen all night. That's why you leave it in the hands of the pitcher and the catcher.
3-2 Yankees lead, bottom of the 7th. 1-2. Another 97-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-2. High fly ball. Right center field. Bernie waves off Mondesi, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning, and Benitez comes on and does the job. Red Sox go down 1-2-3 in the 7th against Orozco and Benitez. We go to the 8th. Yankees 3, Red Sox 2. Well, tonight's game on CBS 2 is brought to you in part by Budweiser. Think fresh. Drink fresh. Budweiser. Well, we go to the top of the 8th inning. Yankees lead 3-2. Fascinating game so far. Both starting pitchers struggled, but they kept their teams right there. Now they've turned it over to the bullpen, and the Yankee bullpen up to this point has done a good job. And the Red Sox bullpen, Sauerbeck did what he had to do, and now they turn it over to Mike Timlin.
There's what Mike's done on the year. Good strikeout walk ratio. Couple of saves, more than a hit per inning. And like the Yankees, the Red Sox bullpen has deepened. Timlin was used earlier in the year in save situations and when the Red Sox were ahead. Now he's in these situations just to try to keep it close.
So Posada will lead off against Timlin. Posada, Nick Johnson, and Raul Mondesi. Yankees lead 3-2. And there's a strike. Amazingly enough, on July 25th, here in Boston, it is actually chilly.
Yeah, beautiful. Fall-like.
Yes, definitely. Autumnal. Fouled away.
And this has been some game. I mean, Martinez did a great job getting out of bases loaded situations. Just, you know, it's that dilemma that Grady Little is in. You got the best pitcher in baseball out there, and you extend him to more pitches than he's ever thrown before. And that one last curveball did him in. And we said it'd probably be a battle of the bullpens. It usually is. Great job by Jesse Orozco, and so far Benitez. This is one of those games when you look at the walks and the hits and the base runners. You know, a bad pitch here or there, it could be an 8-7 game instead of 3-2. A lot of big pitches with men on base.
Young Kim there didn't seem that tight about the game, shooting sunflower seeds.
They don't get serious till the phone rings.
A 1-2, missed outside.
Mentioned Timlin's good control, good walk strikeout ratio, and that's why he has allowed 7 home runs in 56 innings. That's a lot. In situations like this, you can look for him to come in with a strike.
Struck him out. Boston fans are always talking about reversing the curse of the Bambino. Tonight, is the Babe really to blame for Boston's decades of bad luck, or is there another explanation? We'll look at the history of the curse. Is it just plain superstition or Babe Ruth's revenge? Watch the Curse of the Bambino tonight on CBS 2 News at 11, immediately following Big Brother, which will be seen right after tonight's game. Why would Babe Ruth put a curse on the Red Sox?
Yeah,
Going to the Yankees, the best thing that ever happened to
You
them.
know, the one trade that they never talk about, I think we talked about it during the last series, is the Red Ruffing trade. I believe around 1930. Right-hand pitcher won a lot of games for the Yankees.
Tap toward short, charging Garcia. Power fires and gets Johnson for the second out of the inning. Another bad one's Danny Cater for Sparky Lyle.
Yeah, right.
Sparky ended up winning the 1977 Cy Young Award. 2 away here in the 8th inning. That'll bring up Raul Mondesi against Timlin. Listening to a Fenway crowd is almost a study in their frustration over the years, because right now you could hear that hush as if, here we go again.
Right.
I can't believe we're going to lose this with Pedro pitching. They don't cheer to try to spur on their team. They will react, but they will not try to lift their team with their voices. They're sitting back waiting for, it's like cheering through the rearview mirror. You're watching what's coming up on the side.
Several left after that, after the top of the 7th inning, the bottom of the 7th inning.
Off the end of the bat, foul. Along with Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball here on CBS 2. We thank you for joining us on this Friday evening. We hope that you're enjoying this as much as we are. Yankees lead the Red Sox 3-2. Pedro Martinez against David Wells. Martinez extended more pitches than he's thrown all year. Finally, Bernie Williams gets a big RBI single to right field. to break a 2-2 tie. That's where we stand right now at 3-2 in the top of the 8th. First game of a 3-game set, the 1-2. Now one is skied to left field and deep, but Ramirez has room in front of the monster. He puts it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Fenway Park in Boston. Yankees 3 and the Red Sox 2. New York Yankees baseball on CBS 2 is brought to you by Chevy. Chevy, we'll be there. By Verizon, make progress every day. By Hyundai, when your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. And by the special edition DVDs of Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown. Buy the DVDs today. Kevin Millar swings through a Benitez offering. A slider, as a matter of fact, not even a fastball. The count 0-1. 3-7-1 to 2-7-0. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The game in the hands of the bullpens. Mariano beginning to throw. So if Benitez lets anybody on, you might see Rivera. Anybody who says, Jim, well, it's only the end of July, how big can the game be? The fact that Grady Little hung with Pedro Martinez as long as he did tells you what he thinks the game means.
No question. I mean, 2.5 games down with a couple series to go, and you have a chance to win a game. You go for it with the best pitcher in baseball. Ooh, wow. That's why the pitchers have been. Dana DeMuth, that was an umpire's balk. He started to raise his right arm and then changed his mind. Same way with the Yankees. Joe Torre sees the importance of these games. Anytime you can win a game that Pedro Martinez has started. Bring Benitez in here in the 7th inning.
The 2-2. He struck him out. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. One away here in the 8th.
Well, with some movement.
Well, he's got some arm.
And where you really see the arm is when he gets ready to release the ball. The speed. I can remember pictures of Sandy Koufax where his arm was just a blur. Watch how fast right there. His arm comes through with like a whiplash action.
Pitch to David Ortiz up and away. Count 2-0. Ortiz is 0 for 3 tonight. 2 ground balls a second, and a nice grab by Nick Johnson on a liner into the first base hole. Johnson's hugging the line right now. And there's a line drive, base hit down the right field line. Cutting over his Mondesi, he fields, and he is going to hold Ortiz to a single. Now it'll be interesting to see how far Joe Torre is going to go with Benitez before he goes to Rivera.
One more man if he doesn't get him out.
Damian Jackson will pinch run for David Ortiz. And here's Bill Miller. Miller 1 for 2, a run scored, and also walked. Miller against Benitez, 2 for 3. That's when Miller was with the Giants and Benitez with the Mets. Runner goes. The throw to second is not in time. Posada threw it from his knees. But Damian Jackson got a great jump, and that's what happens against hard-throwing relievers. They're just slow to the plate.
Boy, it was some throw by Posada. He knew that's the only chance he had. That's what Michael's talking about. Big right-hand power pitchers, they take a little longer to unload the ball. And Posada said the only way I'll get him is from right here. Some kind of throw from his knees, only chance he had.
Popped up. That is a big out right there. Enrique Wilson puts it away for the second out of the inning.
That decision time for Joe Torre. Mariano is so tough on left-hand hitters. That's what they're going over right now with Mel Stottlemyre. You got Nixon and then Veritek and then Damon and Walker, all left-hand hitters coming up.
Now Nixon's 0 for 2 against Benitez, but that was a long time ago when Benitez with the Orioles. Let's see what Nixon is against Mariano Rivera. 3 for 7.
That's probably the numbers Joe and Mel looked at that's keeping him in the game right now.
And the pitch outside. Every move weighed and weighed again.
Yeah, and if you're a Yankee infielder right now, and Captain Derek Jeter, I'm sure, is telling guys, even if you can't field the ball cleanly, you have to do everything you can to knock down a ground ball. Keep it from going to the outfield.
Gets away from Posada, looked like he got crossed up as Damian Jackson moves to third. It sounded we're behind the plate, obviously, like it hit his shin guard.
Well, I think it might be a case of Jorge hasn't caught Benitez a lot. Don't know if that was a splitter or a slider. Let's see. Oh, just had a lot of movement on it and hit him in the heel of the glove. And that's all Joe Torre had to see. Very catchable ball. Should be a pass ball. I think it's just a case of he has not caught Benitez a lot and he had a lot of movement to it.
And it looks like Joe is trying to soften the blow of taking Benitez out, handling him with care.
Right, exactly. Telling me he did a good job. I mean, that's his job now. His job isn't to close the games, it's to set them up, and he did a good job doing that.
So Mariano Rivera will come in with a 2-0 count and the tying run at third. Stay right here on CBS 2. Well, no complaints with the way that Armando Benitez pitched, but he will watch now as the Yankees make their final move. This is the move they make to close out the game. With a 2-0 count, 2 outs in the 8th inning, the tying run at third base, they go to Mariano Rivera.
You see his record, 35 games, and the strikeout walk ratio, only 30 hits. And at home, you might be saying, well, why now when the guy's on third? I think a combination of things. A 2-0 count, the fact that Benitez is a little more apt with the splitter and the slider to throw a wild pitch, or as you just saw for Posada, maybe to miss the ball. So he wants, with that protection, with the guy just 90 feet away, bring his closer in right now. At least that's my thinking for why Joe did it. As we pointed out earlier, Nixon actually has better numbers against Mariano than he does against Benitez.
All the managers that have been successful with Benitez have been very, very wary of handling him with kid gloves. You don't want to make him feel bad. You don't want to put him into a funk. And you can see the way Joe Torre put both hands on his waist, that he was probably telling him, Jim, hey, listen, you didn't do anything wrong. You did a great job.
You did your job.
So now it's up to Rivera. The Yankees have massaged the bullpen and the starting pitcher to this point where they turn it over to their closer to get the final 4 outs. Try to close out this game. Damian Jackson's at third with 2 outs, and here's Trot Nixon with a 2-0 count. And the 2-0. Cutter is too far inside. 3-0 on deck is Jason Varitek. Right down the middle, fastball, 3-1. Pitch, way inside. He walks Nixon. And Nixon walks for the second time while passing the baton to Jason Varitek. With that walk there, no matter what Varitek does, you ensure Garciaparra of getting at bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. Something that you'd want to stay away from. And if anybody gets on, then you also ensure Manny Ramirez of getting an at bat. Varitek 3 for 9 against Mariano Rivera. 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Tries to check his swing on a cutter. He cannot. The count 0-1. Again, a cutter right in on the hands, and the count 0-2.
You saw Mariano shake his head a couple times. I think Posada just gave him the option. Would you want to try the 2-seamer away from him? But looks like he's going to try to keep Arian his best pitch.
Fisted over the head of Derek Jeter. A base hit in the left center field. Damian Jackson scores. Trot Nixon goes to third. A big RBI single for Jason Varitek, and the game is tied at 3.
Well, he broke his bat. Got the cutter in there, and Varitek fought it off. Maybe would like to have had it in there just a little bit more, but certainly not a bad pitch.
Here's Johnny Damon. Outside.
And of course, that walk to Nixon charged to Benitez, because he inherited a 2-0 count, so that run at third base is Benitez's responsibility.
Damon 3 for 16 against Rivera. Cutter is inside.
Mariano's reaction.
And the 2-0. A strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Fouled off the foot of Johnny Damon, and the count now 2-2. Nixon at third, Baratek at first. The game is tied at 3. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Crowd on its feet. And the 2-2. He struck him out. Foul tip and held on to by Posada, and that will do it in the 8th inning. But the Red Sox push across a run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. It comes down to the 9th inning. What a game. Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. As we head to the 9th, it's time to take a look at tonight's play of the game, brought to you by Continental Airlines.
Well, it looked like this might be the game winner. Bernie Williams took Pedro Martinez's last pitch that he threw, drove in Enrique Wilson, gave the Yankees a 3-2 lead. We're tied now, but that's our Continental Airlines play of the game.
Bernie watching as the Red Sox go to Byung-Hyun Kim. And the pitch to Wilson is a strike. The play of the game was brought to you by Continental Airlines. Continental, work hard, fly right. See the numbers on Kim. That's combined with the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox. Started a lot of games for the Diamondbacks as well. Ground ball, base hit up the middle for Enrique Wilson, who's had himself a very good night. He's now 2 for 3 with a walk.
So we have the same situation that the Yankees had against Pedro Martinez with Soriano in a bunt situation. Here you have your number 9 hitter getting base hits and asking your number 1 hitter to bunt him over. Byung-Hyun Kim, incidentally, since taking over as the Red Sox closer on July 1st, has not given up an earned run. He's 1-1 with 5 saves at 1 loss against the Yankees on an error by Todd Walker at second base.
Here is Soriano. He's going to try to bunt again, and he bunts it foul. Soriano's last sacked bunt was on September 8th of last year.
He never had. He's standing in front of the plate, but he doesn't have the bat out in front.
You know, sometimes the right play is to lay down a sacrifice bunt, but it's not the right play with certain people in the box.
Exactly.
If you can't do it.
And you wonder right now whether they might turn around and hit and run, see if he can make contact swinging at the ball.
Runner goes. Pitch is swung and a miss. The throw to second is not in time. A stolen base for Enrique Wilson. Big night for Wilson.
I'll say. They did use the hit and run. No contact, but Wilson gets in anyway, just ahead of the tag. See Enrique peeking in. That gives you the immediate indication it's a hit and run.
And the same situation is in the 7th inning. Now Soriano wants to move him to third. In the 7th, though, he struck out. And he gets the job done this time. A soft ground ball to second base. Walker to Millar, and moving to third is Wilson.
Productive at bat, just as good as a bunt. That'll force again the Red Sox to bring the infield in. Very same situation we had in the 7th inning.
And in that situation, Derek Jeter walked. So Wilson scored the go-ahead run in the 7th. He's going to try to score the go-ahead run here in the 9th. Jeter hit that famous home run in extra innings in the World Series against Byung-Hyun Kim. He took Kim to right field in the short porch at Yankee Stadium. That was when he was christened Mr. November. Pitch is high.
That's right. That was the first World Series home run in the month of November. First game, I guess, wasn't it?
It started in October, and with extra innings, it went past midnight, and on November 1st. Two and one. 3-3 game, top of the 9th inning. A nail biter. Yankees and the Red Sox. Enrique Wilson's at third with one out. There's a strike. Let's give you an idea of the outfield arms. Trot Nixon has a good arm in right. Manny Ramirez has a strong but erratic arm in left. Johnny Damon does not have much of a wing in center. A fly ball, Enrique Wilson will try to tag of medium depth. Kim's looking to strike out Jeter, though. And the 2-2. And there's a fly ball to center field. Johnny Damon is there. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Wilson, and the throw is not even close. A sac fly for Derek Jeter, and the Yankees lead 4-3.
Another big RBI by the Yankee captain. 2-strike count, gets the ball airborne, and Enrique Wilson's becoming the player of the game.
So Jeter picks up his 30th run batted in of the season, and a very big one. And here's Jason Giambi. Took the hat trick against Pedro. He walked and struck out 3 times. And this time he gets hit by Young Kim. Jason Varitek walks alongside Giambi to make sure he doesn't make a left-hand turn. And Giambi takes first after being hit by a pitch.
Yeah, I think the reason Jason's frustrated, that's 2 days in a row he's been hit in the same spot. I don't think there was, I think this was strictly frustration on the part of Young Kim. It's the first earned run he's given up. It wasn't a save situation, but almost the same as.
There's Bernie Williams. Bernie is 3 for 4. That big RBI single in the 7th that gave the Yankees a short-lived 3-2 lead. 3 singles and a run scored. Popped up foul behind the plate. .4-3 Yankees lead. Giambi leads off first, the 0-1. Fastball strike. And the 0-2 ties them up in the count 1-2. Neither team has had an inning where they scored more than 1 run. It's really been a scratch and claw game. That one is lofted to left field. Coming on Manny Ramirez. He puts it away for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees push across a run against Young Kim in the 9th. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. Last licks against Rivera, 4-3 Yanks. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning, so Mariano Rivera gets another chance to nail this down.
He would much rather have a save, and then if he did, this would be the kind of game he could almost give up 3 saves. Jesse Orozco, Benitez, and sometimes you get to face the bottom of the order, but not this time. You got 3 of the best hitters the Red Sox have to get out to save the game.
Todd Walker, Nomar Garciaparra, and Manny Ramirez. Walker will start it off. And there's a strike. Walker tonight 0 for 3 with a walk. Cutter bearing in on the hands, 0-2.
People that are casual baseball fans, and a lot of them say, you know, I start watching in the postseason. This is the kind of game they would like to see in the postseason. Boy, this has been a real baseball game.
Ooh. That got away, 1-2.
You know, Fenway Park, you come in here looking for a lot of home runs and a slugfest. And this is a 4-3 game that seems like every inning it's been a 1-0 game. There's never been any more differential than 1 run.
1-2 into the Yankee dugout. And the crowd cheers as the Yankees scatter in there. Kareem Garcia's been wearing that glove the whole game.
Got a chance to use it.
$34,873 here at Fenway. The 1-2. Rip foul. They have seen a dandy. Managerial moves, big hits, big plays, big pitches.
And surprisingly, in a game that David Wells walked 5 men, and the Yankees have a chance to win it in the 9th.
1-2. Just stayed alive.
Tough hitter. One of the best hitters ever in collegiate baseball at LSU. And that's the kind of team the Red Sox have built, offensive minded.
Two and two. And the pitch. Really hanging in there against Rivera. Crowd boos Raul Mondesi. He picked up an errant baseball on right field, and rather than toss it into the stands, he rolled it back to the ball girl. And the 2-2. Popped up, shallow right center field, backing up Soriano, waves everybody off, 1 away. So Rivera wins that battle.
And it was a battle. Good at bat by Todd Walker.
The shortstop, number 5, Nomar Garciaparra.
And now here's Nomar Garciaparra. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Now all these little movements and ticks, Garciaparra says he's not superstitious, he just wants his gloves tight. Fastball up and in.
And his shoes. And so I guess I'm saying, why don't you just get a smaller size? And if you want them tight, it's not superstitious.
Fastball strike. That's the difference between Mariano 2003 and say the 2001 version. He would get hurt by right-handed batters with the cutter. Now he will either use the cutter starting at the body or have a two-seamer on the inside corner. Foul back. And the 1-2. All the way. Rivera has already blown the save, now trying to pick up the win. The 1-2. Hit deep to left center field. And that is going to be up against the monster. Playing the carom is Bernie Williams, and no more Garcia Parra is at the tying run at second base with a double.
Well, you've seen it before. Right-handers have better swings against Mariano than lefties because of that. That cutter, instead of down and away, just moving toward the barrel of the bat. And the Yankees have an option now. Pitching carefully. Very seldom does a closer walk a hitter intentionally, because you always have the feeling he's better. I'm better than he is. You see Mariano's reaction to the Garcia Parra double.
Ramirez 3 for 24 against Rivera, but one of the three a home run. Ramirez is 2 for 4 tonight. Both of his hits against David Wells, the Yankee starter. Garcia Parra the tying run at second with one out in the bottom of the ninth. Outside 1-0.
Checking the matchups. Now they might walk it. Talking about it right now. Looking down the lineup, Millar is next.
Millar is 2 for 5 against Mariano, and that's all this year. Blows a fastball by. Let me take that back. They could have faced each other in interleague play when he was with the Marlins. Trot Nixon looks like he's played a game. Three and one. Walked him.
Semi-intentional. Can't blame him. You got to make Kevin Millar. Going to get a pinch runner in for Manny.
That'll be Gabe Kapler. So Manny gets congrats for the walk. And now Kevin Millar. Both managers have earned their money in this game. A double and a home run, the two hits that Millar has against Mariano. Damian Jackson is in this spot, but they're going to send up Jeremy Giambi. He's on deck. So first Millar, then they'll have to deal with Jason's brother Jeremy. Strike. The crowd have posted 35,000, holding its breath in a classic hardball game. The 0-1. 1-1. Missed inside, 2-1. Mariano does not seem like he has the pinpoint control he usually has. Usually don't see him miss with those pitches, at least by that much. First and second, 1 out. Yankees lead 4-3, bottom of the ninth. First of 3 between the Yankees and the Sox. They're 2-1. Foul back, 2-2. Garcia Power at second, Kapler at first. And the 2-2. He struck him out with a high fastball, 2 away. Oh, that was high cheese.
Well, you mentioned his control early in the count, and I think he was trying to throw a couple two-seamers inside. That's the ball that moves inside. You can see the cut spin, a little bit of a slider spin. And that is such a good-looking pitch to a hitter, but it's the toughest pitch to catch up with. And Mel and Joe approve. Much easier to catch up with the low pitch than the high pitch.
And that leaves it up to Jeremy Giambi. Pitch is high. Probably a very awkward situation for brother Jason. These two are extremely close, but in this case, he is rooting against his bro.
Yeah. He better be if he's got that uniform on.
Time called by Posada. Jeremy has not had a good year, hitting .195, 5 homers and 15 runs batted in.
Posada telling Mariano what sign they're using with a man on second, also alerting the infielders, knock the ball down. Any ground ball, if you can't field it, knock it down.
The 1-0. Check swing. Did he go? No, said Jerry Lane.
He might have got by with that. Pulled the bat back quickly, but it sure looked like he swung at it. Borderline.
The 2-0. Foul back, 2-1.
For these last couple innings, fun to watch, because from a Yankee standpoint with their pitchers, it's just country hardball. I mean, Posada's out on the mound talking strategy right now, but Mariano's best pitch is that hard cut fastball. In these kind of situations, you don't want to go to anything else.
Since May 25th, Grady Little has pushed the right buttons for pinch hitters. They're 12 for 33. That's .364. Did he do it with Jeremy Giambi? The 2-1. Inside 3-1. One pitch away from loading the bases. And on deck is Bill Miller. Garcia Power at second, Kapler's at first. 4-3 Yankee lead. And the 3-1. Fisted out to Soriano, and that'll do it. The Yankees win the game. A thrilling, exhilarating game here at Fenway Park. Clutch pitching, clutch hitting, and the Yankees take the first of 3 at Fenway, 4-3 over the Red Sox.
Wow, that was some game, Michael. The Red Sox tied it on a little bloop on a cutter, but that one in on Giambi's hands, and the Red Sox come up short. And once again, David Wells doesn't get the win, but the Yankees have not lost a game that he has started on the road.
Well, the Yankees got out-hit, but they didn't get outscored. They beat the Red Sox 4-3. We'll come back to wrap it up. Stay right here on CBS 2. This is the reaction when you've had a long, tight game, nail-biter, and the final out is made. Good job. Torrey and Stottlemyre down to the last out. Really neat game. If you're a baseball fan, that was fun. 4-8-1 for the Yankees, 3-10-0 for the Red Sox, and the closers get the decision. Mariano Rivera with the win, 5-0. He blew the save. The loser, Byung-Hyun Kim, 4-8. The time of the game, it's unmanageable, but it was great. 3 hours and 41 minutes. Posada 2 for 4, a solo home run against Pedro, and Bernie Williams got a big RBI single. He was 3 for 5. Also, he had a run scored. So the Yankees start the first game of this 3-game set with a victory, and the standings in the American League East change just a bit. Boston drops now 3.5 back, so no matter what happens Saturday and Sunday, the Yankees will hold on to first place. Toronto's 11 back, Baltimore 14.5, and Tampa Bay 26 off the pace. Outstanding first game here at Fenway. Game 2 is tomorrow afternoon, Messina against Burkett, and then Sunday night, it'll be Jeff Weaver against Derek Lowe. Thanks for watching Yankee Baseball on CBS 2. Special thanks to Kevin Smolin, John Moore, and John Filippelli. For everything Yankees and the most up-to-date news in the sports world, Sports Wrap Live is the place to be. Saturday and Sunday night at 11:35 after CBS 2 News at 11. And you got to see the next CBS 2 Yankees game when the Bombers go to Anaheim. That's Yankees-Angels, Tuesday night at 10, right here on CBS 2, the official broadcast home of the New York Yankees. For Jim Codd, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Once again, the final score, Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 3. Coming up next, the X Factor heats up on an all-new Big Brother. And now, let's go to Dana Tyler and Todd McDermott at the CBS 2 Broadcast Center.